Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Spark for either August 22nd, 2022 or August 23rd,
It's gonna be the 23rd. I'll post this tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay.
It will be posted.
I never know sometimes because,
Yeah.
We're recording this at 7 o'clock at night, so...
Yeah, we're recording this as Elevation for this week is going on, but we
Yeah,
have no other time that we could have done this, so we're working with what we got at this point. It is what it is.
But let me this is going to be a big episode because it's the first time I'm ever having a guest on, and it's kind of a unique guest in a sense because you were a guest when Noah hosted the show, and you've been host. You've been on two sides of the table and all that type of stuff. You sat on both chairs.
Yes, I have. Indeed.
I have it's James the He-Man Hebert. How are you today?
I thought I'd feel pretty good. I don't know what's going on today. I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling myself, but I'm doing all right. Let's hope talking about some AEW will cheer you up then. So yeah, for sure. All right.
And I don't need to introduce myself because it's in the intro. I never do. So
yeah, right.
So I'm not used to having a guest. So obviously the intro is different. I usually just cut right into it. So
I get you. Yeah, don't worry about it. I can't even really comment much on Dark anyway. So
yeah. So yeah, we have some. I find I say this every week I do this show. We have some big things to talk about in AEW because AEW always does something big. I actually think the episode I missed that you hosted was like the AEW stuff where like not much went on. Like I find it kind of fitted that the one you hosted, of course, nothing really happens.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But this week was not the case. Yeah. A lot happened this week.
I'm just gonna break down Elevation and Doc real quick. They usually don't take me that long if you've watched the show before. If you want to comment on stuff, you can, but I'll just break it down real quick. It was episode 76, and there was actually something awesome that happened on Elevation this week. Excalibur and Matt Bernard did commentary together, and it was awesome. Like, Matt Bernard was so good on commentary.
I at least wish I could have heard him, but I had zero time.
I know.
That was like the one thing I was looking forward to this week.
Like, I honestly think when he's done wrestling, which I don't think it's going to be for a while, he should just be, like, a commentator. Because he was so good on commentary, too.
Was he really? Like, are we talking, like, good color commentator? Or, like, even are we talking comedy act? Or are we...
Both.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. One part they were betted on matches, and I'll talk, which was funny. Him and Excalibur, too. And I'm just gonna say it, I know I like Kevin Kelly and everything, but I think Excalibur is like the best commentary in the business right now. He's like so good. Like he brings the best out of everybody, I think.
Well, some people I guess would disagree with you. I don't. I'm not one of them, but I can understand that. I agree wholeheartedly.
But yeah, let's start breaking down the show. We have 9 matches to cover. So on Elevation, it's episode 76. Tony Nese and Josh Woods squashed Travis Titan and Eric Canyon. They just completely destroyed these guys. These guys didn't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
I like it. They experimented a little bit more with, with the tag team moves and everything. They didn't do a lot because obviously the match was really quick. I thought they looked a lot better. Even though this was a squash, they looked a lot better in that Friday night street fight with Swerve and Our Glory. But,
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of time to do anything. So, and then the Dark Order squashed T.U.J. Cooper, Drew System, Wiley Jackson, and Adam Grace. And Excalibur and Matt Bernard bet on how many tags were going to be in this match. Excalibur guessed he bet more than 10, and Matt Bernard said it was going to be less than 10. Matt Bernard won the bet, so I was happy. I was actually happy Matt Bernard won the bet. I wanted him to win it so bad. That's basically it was basically
the Matt Bernard show, basically.
Yeah. But basically, if you've seen a Dark Order like squash match on Elevation, it's you've seen them all. So this is it was good tag team moves though because obviously they're setting them up for because I'm pretty sure the tournament had already been announced and everything. So, Serena Deeb squashed Sierra. She was on Elevation like one of the weeks. Nothing really to talk about there. It's Serena Deeb squashing somebody. She tapped her out with the Serenity Lock, so there you go.
Again.
This is actually something to talk about. Konosuke Takeshita fought Cesar Bononi. And this was cool because Cesar Bononi, actually, he wasn't with the Windmen this time. He actually looked like a beast this week, which was awesome. And this is obviously something to talk about because this was Konosuke Takeshita's last match in America before he goes back to Japan. So, it was cool to see this for that reason.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Dude.
I know, I wish...
Not one fucking match on All Out after the performances he's given.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't think he's...
No.
I don't think he's getting released. I think his excursion in America's over or something like that.
Well, I think they need to extend it for one more match with All Out. That's what I think needs to fucking happen because he should. Yeah, shit.
I know.
I like Cesar. Don't get me wrong. He's a good talent, but dude, what Konosuke did while in the States was exceptional.
Yeah, more than exceptional.
It wasn't even exceptional. It's an insult to even call it exceptional. This guy should have gotten a high caliber wrestler to fight on the pay-per-view. He should have been on All Out.
Absolutely, yeah.
They should have done everything they could to fucking at least give him that. I can't believe that. I'm sorry. That's
again, I don't know. I don't know how these excursions work though. Maybe he had to be back. Maybe there's a time limit when he was supposed to be back, so I don't know how they...
There's probably some bullshit politics with Japan or some shit, I don't know.
But yeah, this match was pretty good here. Cesar Bononi looked pretty strong. Konosuke Takeshita obviously won with his high knee. I wasn't sure if he was... I did predict him to win, but I obviously thought he was going to put somebody over on the way out, but I'm like, you know what, this is on Elevation. And as I'm like, I do think we're going to see this guy again at some point. I don't know when we're going to see him, but he's definitely going to be back at some point. So
yeah, probably within the next year or two.
Yeah. But yeah, I was surprised it didn't main event. I kind of wish it did since it was Takeshita's last match. I thought it would have main event if they would have done some type of ceremony with him or something. Julia Hart squashed Free Range Kayla. This really wasn't that believable. I know Julia Hart's doing that whole thing, but Free Range Kayla was 10 times the size of Julia. It was like that 205 Live match we reviewed with Tozawa and that other guy where it wasn't believable. Basically, that's what this match was.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I haven't been I like Julia's time in the House of Black, but the thing I've been saying every time she has a match is... Why aren't they doing anything with Varsity Blondes and House of Black right now? They were together for
This is
We'll talk. I think we'll get to.
I don't get what they've done with the Varsity Blondes. We'll get to.
I think we'll talk. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. Private Party squash JC and JDX. This made sense because this was the same week they were having the tag title match with Swerve and Ugly, so they had to make them look strong. I don't know what happened to Mark Quinn. He looks like he's aged, within the last few months. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Penelope Ford had her return. She squashed Heather Reckless. I thought this was good stuff for what they did, but, I don't think it was necessarily I thought that she's a big enough star where she should have come back in a bigger deal, not on an Elevation, but that's just my opinion.
She should have been on the match on Rampage, even if she's taken a loss. Why didn't you just make that her first match back?
they showed Kip Sabian in the crowd, you know, because he's doing the whole thing with the box gimmick. So,
yeah. By the way, after months of them not even acknowledging that
I
he
know,
was
yeah.
even her fucking husband.
The Acclaimed had a squash match with Justin Fowler and JT Energy. This was entertaining because it's the Acclaimed. The so over faces right now. It's so awesome. And then Hikaru Shida and Thunderstorm wrestled Emi Sakura, Melina Shafir, and Nyla Rose. It was short, which I was happy about because Melina Shafir was in the match. Basically, the big storyline was Thunder Rosa didn't get tagged in, and Toni Storm wanted to prove that she could be a legit contender for the belt, and she won by pinning, I believe it was Melina Shafir, which made me happy. So, you know, I actually like this a lot for, like, selfish reasons. I like seeing Toni Storm look strong, and I like seeing Melina Shafir take a loss. So it did everything I wanted to happen. So,
good.
I don't think you need to
still fighting Marina Shafir. Get her off Dark, get her off all TV, and get her in training or do something that isn't wrestling related. This has gone far enough. I'm not gonna stop saying it until they actually fucking do something about it. She is probably worse than Nia Jax, and that's saying something.
Oh yeah.
As a person who is reliable to not fuck you up, pretty much.
Yeah. So that was Elevation. I thought it was a solid show. I liked the Tony Nese, Josh Woods squash. I enjoyed Hikaru Shida and Thunderstorm versus Emi Sakura, Melina Shafir, and Nyla Rose for selfish reasons. I enjoyed Kanoki Takeshita's last match in America for a while. I enjoyed Private Party Squash, and I enjoyed the Acclaim because I enjoyed seeing them all the time. And it was good to see Penelope Ford back. So now let's get to AEW Doc. They were back at Universal Studios this week because they took a vacation, because Battle of the Belts was last episode, so they filmed an episode of Doc there. So they were back in the studios. I'm pretty sure this was just the same episodes they were filming before the Battle of the Belts one, but that's just me guessing here because it doesn't really make sense that they would do it the other way. But we'll see.
Who knows? It's a fucking mess. To be fair,
I know. I'm not really sure. I'm just guessing.
By the way, Dark Elevation at least does do something. But man, I feel like, and I felt this way last week. This show is a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a train wreck.
Fucking train wreck.
Just
replace this fucking show with Ring of Honor already.
I know.
Seriously, if nothing else fucking works, this needs to be replaced by ROH.
Yeah, especially too, you can make it work too.
Yeah. Especially in Universal.
Yeah. Excalibur and Taz were on commentary, which I always enjoy because you can just tell I think they're done with this show. They're just clowning around half the time. It's so awesome, but so great.
It's because they feel exactly how the fans feel about it. Really, I mean.
And I don't know if you've been watching like the recent episodes of Dark. They're not really actually there. They're just filming commentary, like
it's
over it.
It's such a waste of time. Just fucking do a different commentary team. Seriously.
Well, especially too because it's weird because like on this show, Ali Daivari has a match, but I think this match was filmed before Sonny Kiss turned heel, so they didn't really talk. Like they talked about it on commentary, but then when he cuts a promo later in the show and he doesn't bring it up at all, so it's weird how that happens.
Yeah, that's when you need to end this show immediately. Yeah.
But anyhow,
you have no ideas on where to go with it. That's what that tells me.
Going through the show though, fairly enjoyable show here. Ali Daivari had a match with Fuego del Sol.
Yeah.
Actually, I could talk about Fuego del Sol. Because actually, he has something to say to you. Because I think all the fans have been saying the same thing you've been saying. I don't know if you saw his tweet. He posted a tweet saying AEW Dark is a good showcase because it gives talent like him, people who wouldn't get on Dynamite or Rampage and stuff, and like big platforms, a showcase. So
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
But anyhow, Ali Daivari.
I'm gonna be honest. There is so much talent that yes, at least they get showcased on Dark. but Fuego would be way better utilized than in a fucking Impact right now. In the X Division, especially, he would thrive in the X Division.
Absolutely,
he'd be one of the premier breakout guys. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think even if you replace Dog with Win of Honor, he'd be challenging for the Pure title or the TV title or something.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a versatile, wrestler. It's just he never gets to really show it. And while I do agree that at least you're getting people work with Dark, it's like, something you gotta give me something than just a bunch of fucking squash matches.
I know.
Like, I thought Dark was just supposed to put the AEW star against an indie guy, have them fucking have competitive matches.
Yeah.
It was supposed to basically be the PWG of AEW, and instead we've gone the main event of AEW, which I think is, come on.
But going through it, Ali Daivari wrestled Fuego del Sol. This was a fairly good match here. Fuego del Sol looked really strong. He had a really cool dive onto him, Parker Boudreaux, and not Slam Master J, Slim J.
Yeah, Slim J. Yeah.
And
what a weird fucking faction, by the way. The Trustbusters are fucking weird. I'm not sure how to feel about it.
Ali Daivari eventually won with the Hammerlock clothesline, followed by the Frog Splash from the top turnbuckle. Really good competitive match here. Really enjoyed it. And afterwards, he cuts the promo talking about the Trustbusters some more. Basically the same thing he's been saying every week.
This is not over.
No, it hasn't been working.
I can't do it. I can't do it another week. If they come on, I'm gonna be honest. They come on the TV, I'm literally just not gonna even watch. I'm gonna zone out or go use the bathroom. They're a piss break to me. I hate to even
I don't
say
blame
that,
you, yeah.
And it sucks because that means Sunny Kiss is really good, but it's a case where the Trustbusters should have been a tag team. Slim J and Ari Daivari should have just been it. It never should have been a faction. Parker Boudreaux should have just been his own guy, or at least a heavy for some fucking heel. And that isn't Ari, by the way.
Yeah.
And Sonny should have just been utilized better. I've been recommending for ages they should have just fucking found a way to bring in Fred Rosser in and make a Pride-centric tag team in Fred and Sonny. That was the perfect use there, because Sonny is a good tag team wrestler. He was just paired up with the wrong dickhead.
Yeah.
He was paired up with Joey Janela, and and still Sonny made the best of that.
Yeah,
so
he did.
I don't know why you can't give Sonny something here. Throw the fucking guy a bone.
I know.
Whatever they go by, but I'm just gonna call him he because they go by both pronouns. But fuck me, dude. You can use it, and they just don't.
I know.
It wasn't even a freaking year ago. This dude was challenging for the tag titles. And you've done nothing with him.
Actually, this is gonna surprise you. The last time he's been on Dynamite, since before this Trustbusters run, and it's on Twitter and everything, was when he got squashed by Kenny Omega. That's the last time he was on TV.
Oh yeah, when they fucking straight up buried Sonny. Yeah. Which to a degree at least made sense.
Yeah.
In the storyline, but that doesn't mean that Sonny should have never done stuff after that. Sonny, you can have people that get squashed have competitive matches afterwards. MMA has that all the time. They have squash fights. Fights happen and they end like that, and you think it's going to be this big thing, and then they just happen to be pissed off on the wrong fucking day, and they end it quick. So I don't know why they didn't do that with Sonny.
I mean, even though I don't like it, that happened to Brock Lesnar when he got squashed by Goldberg at Survivor Series. So
right.
Cena
you picked the wrong guy on the wrong day. You can do it like that. I don't know why they don't.
I mean, that happened to Cena with Brock also. Because Brock was just on a roll.
Yeah.
But anyhow, continuing with Doc, we had Robin Renegade versus Willow Nightingale. She was accompanied by her sister, Charlotte Renegade. They're obviously twins.
These two again. I don't understand why you have two tag teams right now, or you probably have more than I think a few actually tag teams in the women's division. But you have no tag titles. You can't even make tag titles because you don't have enough for a fucking division. I don't understand why you just don't work with Impact here.
I know.
I don't get it. I don't get why that deal fell through. I'm never going to understand why that deal fell through. I don't get it. I'm never going to understand that. You had a brand you could have put these teams on. You know, the Baddies could have been there. The Renegade Twins could have been there. The fucking Thunderstorm could have been there. You know, like Britt Baker's group could have been there. There's a lot of, you know, they need the fucking women, to be honest with you, when it comes to the tag division. Like, you know, Impact does great with what they have, but imagine if they had teams like this.
I know.
As well, you know, it would help a great fucking deal, so they don't have to fucking scramble to make teams when a team's, you know, called up or, you know, they sign a contract with a bigger company.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
The Renegade Sisters theme song is so generic. It's just the most generic theme song I've ever heard in my life. But anyhow, this was a fairly.
Who'd you fight again, Robin?
Willow Nightingale.
Right. Okay. That's another one, by the way. That was another team they had for a short time. Ember Moon Athena and Willow Nightingale.
Yeah. This was a fairly solid match here. The Renegade Sisters pulled Twin Magic, so now it's Charlotte Renegade in the ring. This was funny because Taz was getting all confused and he didn't know what was going on. And then he started being Taz on commentary and it got awesome.
Yeah, Switcheroo Jones.
And then, Willow Nightingale hit the gut wrench powerbomb onto Charlotte Renegade and lost. But, you know, it was kind of cool because it was like, you know, it still protected the Renegade Sisters because, you know, the one that actually lost wasn't in the match or anything. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember during the Trust Busters match, there's a funny thing on commentary where Taz was talking about how he has a guy that helps him remember everything. And Excalibur was like, so where is that guy? And Taz like, oh, he forgot to show up today. So wait, and then Excalibur was like, so the guy that's supposed to remember everything forgot to show up for work today. It was awesome. It was
That's
great.
That's pretty good.
I
feel like they're just trying out their stand-up routine as like a side gig.
I know.
It's kind of what
they also do that. I don't know if you've ever watched like an episode of Dark, like since they've started like just taping the commentary. I think one time Taz like was drinking coffee or something like doing the show, so they'll occasionally make jokes about how Taz has like a coffee pot or whatever. It's so it's
I've heard those. Yep.
It's because I have a feeling that happened one time.
Oh, it's happened more than one time.
Then we had Serpentico versus Brock Anderson, who I forgot was even signed with the company, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
But anyhow,
Brock Anderson squashed him, right?
No, it's fairly competitive.
No. Nope.
Not a fan?
I refuse. This motherfucker was shit on the event or whatever, which I know I'm gonna do at some point. Sorry, not sorry. By the way, the event sucked. Get over it. Brock and Pillman, which we'll get to Pillman in a minute, but those motherfuckers were on the Ric Flair last match show, representing the fucking Horsemen and won. And fucking, you have one guy just job out clean, period, nothing is done. And you have the other motherfucker have a competitive match with Serpentico. So the matches that should be competitive aren't competitive, but the matches here's a great example of this. Ted Good should have had a fucking competitive match when he was here in Boston. Don't give a shit. fight me on that. Should have had a competitive match. But fucking Serpentico and goddamn Brock Anderson can have a competitive match. Are you
that
serious?
doesn't really make sense.
Come on.
But anyhow,
Good
stuff here. Eventually Brock Anderson won with the spine buster. So
yeah.
at least he won.
He should have fucking squashed this.
But yeah, this dude.
This should have been a squash.
Yeah.
If you wanted Brock Anderson to have a competitive match, why didn't you just put him up against Brian Pillman Jr.?
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Serious. Like, do that or fucking anything would have been better than what they fucking did here.
But yeah, Brock Anderson's just cooled off so much since Cody's left, and I have a feeling that if you notice, it's happened to a lot of guys that Cody signed.
But it shouldn't be the case. But look, whether they were Cody guys or not, keep in mind also QT's a fucking Cody guy, and he's gotten a fucking big ass promotion. So I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that they were Cody guys. Yeah. It just has everything to do with the fact that they just don't know what to do with these particular Cody guys.
Yeah.
And that's a crock of shit. Sorry. They were on the Ric Flair last match card representing the fucking Horsemen. Ding dong, dickheads.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm already in a shit mood as it is, and like I'm hearing fucking Brock Anderson is having a competitive match with Serpentico. And listen, I like Serpentico, but Serpentico works one place. He only works one place, and that's DPW. Name any other fucking promotion that motherfucker works in, including AEW. Maybe Impact in the X Division. On a random TV match every now and again. Probably. That's it. Otherwise, nothing. He ought to be squashed. He's a jobber. Comparatively speaking, Brock Anderson just got done with a major fucking feud and program. I don't care how rushed it was a major feud and program. How do you not capitalize off that, dude?
I know. Abaddon squash Mafiosa. This was bad. It's an Abaddon match. That's what you expect.
Yeah, alright, less said about this, the better.
Angelico squash Balin Aki. This was pretty good. I liked seeing Angelico's submission skills go to work, so that was pretty good.
This dude, you need to do something way more with him.
Oh, definitely.
Seriously, if you're not going to use him, and you're only going to put him on Dark, which I get you can't fit everybody on your fucking main show, but, like, this is why I say, either put Ring of Honor in this fucking slot, because he'd be a shoo-in for the pure title division, or release this guy and let him join up with Jack Evans at Impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dead serious. Like, I'm over this already. This guy is way too talented to be fucking put on Dark, man. Like, I get it. You have a lot going on, but, like, you could at least have the dude have competitive fucking matches. Did he have a competitive match? I assume it was just a squash, you said.
It was a squash, yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. Why couldn't you put Angelico against Brock?
I know, that would have been awesome.
If you wanted to give Brock a win, you could have at least had Angelico. It's not like he's going to fucking get damaged any more than he was. At least you could have fucking had a competitive match out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Then we had Emi Sakura versus Renee Michelle. This was pretty good stuff here. Emi Sakura won.
Renee Michelle always impresses me when she wrestles. They actually probably should sign her, but...
Yeah. Emi Sakura won with a Totoro backbreaker. So this was a pretty good match here.
They need to change the finish, but yes, I agree.
Josh Wood squash Cobra. That was legit the guy's name, but it was a squash. It was a really good
Santino Cobra.
No, it was not.
Well, fool me if he got squashed. Who did he fight? Cobra?
Josh Woods.
Oh, so Josh Woods destroyed him. Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
That was about right.
Then we had Wahid Waju versus Invictus Cash. I really love seeing Wahid Waju. I don't know why he left Impact though.
Why is he on Dark?
Yeah, this dude needs to be signed.
You have. Hold on. No. Hold up. You wanted to make the Trustbusters a fucking trio. Ari's there. Jora Joel's there. And fucking Rohit Raju's here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I made the suggestion. Yeah, I made the suggestion Rohit should be in there. Yeah.
Rohit. That should be it. Period.
Yeah.
That should be the Trustbusters.
If you want to add Slim J, that's fine too. But
Slim
you know,
J,
it
no.
should be.
You know why? Because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense even as a tag team, but at least they worked well. But fuck me, dude. Hello? Dude,
yeah.
Here's another thing. Parker Boudreaux and Slim J should just be a tag team by themselves. Period. Right? So they should be a tag team. Those three should be a fucking Trustbusters team. That's it.
Yeah.
Or,
that'd be awesome.
Or fuck the Trustbusters gimmick. It sucks anyway. Call them by Jora Joel's gimmick. The Pujami Lions?
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, fucking Ari has a little has some Indian heritage in him as well. So you can run with this shit. I don't know, fucking.
But yeah, this was a pretty competitive match here. Pretty good stuff. Rohit Raju got the win with the double stomp from the top turnbuckle. Afterwards, he got interviewed by Shivani, and he said that he's gonna be the shiny. He's gonna shine the brightest on AEW. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
but
you're on dark, dude. Here's another thing. All right, let's talk about this too. There was another fucking name that just kind of came to my fucking mind. We talked about Cesar Bononi and how he should probably be himself. Who was his partner that he used to team with?
Tiger Ruiz.
Where has he been? How do you not put him in the Trustbusters? In fact, why don't you make all of them a part of that fucking group? That would have made infinitely way more sense than Sonny Kiss, who again you should have just teamed with Fred Rosser, Parker Boudreaux, and Slim J, who should just be off on their own anyway.
Yeah. I've been making the suggestion that Tiger Ruiz should be teaming up with Cesar Bononi. They're like a really good tag team together.
Not just that. Put them as a tag team in the Trustbusters. Then you have a tag team and a fucking trio in the Trustbusters.
Then we had Sky Blue versus Charlotte Renegade. Good match here. They tried to do Twin Magic, but this time Sky Blue won by pinning Robin Renegade. But I thought it was funny, so I enjoyed that.
What they did when they first debuted on Dynamite the one time.
Yeah. Bear Country Squash, Axel Rico, and Victor.
Yeah.
In Arrestia, I don't know how to say that. So, Bear Country looks pretty good here. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla Rossi squash Avery. I think it's Bois. This is the person that was with Joey Janela like towards the end of his run in AEW. She looked pretty good there. There was a spot that got screwed up, but it wasn't her fault. It was the girl Avery Bois' fault. So,
and she won.
Yeah, she won.
She's not even with the company anymore, right? And they still had to send the can. Or is she still with the company? I have no idea.
Who?
Kayla Rossi.
I'm not sure. I don't know if this was just a one-off or what. Like
Maybe. Hello.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Oh my god. Kayla Rossi's way too fucking skilled to not do something with. Like you could put her with somebody, anybody. I don't know what.
Then we had Cesar Bononi versus Marcus Cross. This was a good showcase for Cesar Bononi. He actually got to be dominant. The only thing I hated is he came out with the Windman this time. Like I wish he would have just come out by himself and looked dominant. But
can the Wingman die a death, please?
Please. Or just if you're gonna have the Windman, just have it be Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth.
Or how about don't do the Wingman at all? Seriously, like at this point, if you're not gonna do anything with the fucking Varsity Blondes, put the fucking Hollywood Blonde in the fucking Varsity Blondes. How about that one?
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be a good one.
And then the main event was Blake Christian versus Powerhouse Hobbs. This was a pretty good match here. Blake Christian started off really fast and furious, and then Powerhouse Hobbs used his power and caught him in a spine buster, then a torture rack and made him tap out. But I enjoyed this. It was exactly what it needed to be. And, I enjoyed seeing Powerhouse Hobbs look dominant. I love that. So,
you should have done that on, I don't know.
That was a...
It is what it is.
That was AEW Dog. Kind of an average show here. Too long, too. It was an hour and a half of squash matches.
Yeah.
So,
which is why I didn't watch. Like,
yeah.
I'm tired. I at this point, you could do it if you want, but like I'm not. When I do it, I'm not. Somebody else is gonna have to fucking give the results because I'm not fucking doing this every time.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I don't blame you.
Like this week, I had zero time and I had way more important shit to do, and I'm glad I did that instead.
Well, I think we talked about this before actually, because I would always watch Doc and everything because Doc's in the studio. It makes you tired all the time when you're like sitting down and watching it.
Yeah, because nobody's excited. Not a single soul's excited to be there.
At least with Dynamite, like you have that excitement and stuff. Like on Elevation, I mean.
You could honestly look. They had a good thing going for a couple weeks with having Pac go out to seas.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do something in studio with Pac? Since he was going to be in the U.S. for a bit. Why didn't they do something with Thunder Rosa where she's defending the championship? I remember Eddie Kingston had a competitive match at one point on Dark. Like, what happened to the show? Don't get me wrong. You need the squash matches for Dark. I get that. I'm not even saying get rid of them entirely. I get you need them. There's a time and a place for the squash matches. It seems like they're all over the place with this shit.
Yeah.
Like they're having Serpentico have a competitive match with fucking Brock Anderson. They're having these random fucking teams just mesh on Dark and then trying to bring it to Dynamite like the Trustbusters. They have these weird ass fucking things going on with the Renegade Twins and they're barely featuring them.
Yeah.
They have Angelico just squandering on Dark and not doing anything. Like, at least bring some star power there. Like, fuck me, have Angelico versus Bryan Danielson.
Well, Heat Raju sometimes, but he's been wrestling on Dark
Heat Raju versus Hook.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have a field day if I was running Dark. But fuck it. Have me manage Dark. I could do that from my home. Seriously.
Let's do something fun real quick. We'll call this James Books. Okay. Book an episode of Doc. You have an hour. So this was an hour and a half. Book an hour and a half episode of Doc right now.
Okay, cool. Well, let's figure it out. Well, you can't feature everybody, and you have a lot of championships, and they can't all get on TV. But you can put them on the YouTube shows. So right away, I already have the All Atlantic Championship taken care of. I have the AEW Women's World Championship taken care of if you can't do it, or the TBS Championship if you can't feature it, vice versa. There you go. One of the women's titles. And, the FTW title as well can be a fucking defended belt. And there is,
That's 3 matches right there.
That's 3 matches. You have a bunch of trios that you're trying to form. You're trying to build a trios division, so that's perfect, right? So here we go. How many matches we got, typically? Let's see. So
since it's an hour and a half, they had 13 matches this week on an hour and a half show.
13 matches. We're going to dim that down to 6. Gotcha. Okay, so first matchup is going to be a squash match. I will have Powerhouse Hobbs squash somebody. That's fine. Kind of get people introduced.
Not Blake Christian, though.
Not Blake Christian, because Blake Christian deserves way fucking better. What the fuck? Have Powerhouse Hobbs fight Serpentico. Perfect. There you go. There's your jobber. You can have him squash. And Serpentico's a hell of a bumper. He'll make him look great. I'm going to do a thing with Cesar Bononi and Tiger Ruas. I'm going to have a tag team match. And they are going to go up against, Baron Black and Lee Johnson. Perfect, right? There you go. There's another kind of squash match, but at least it could be somewhat competitive. Now, let's get to the trios action. We're going to have the Trustbusters, my version, that I'm just going to make fucking canon, because fuck you, I can, versus the Factory, right? Specifically, the Factory combination of Anthony Ogogo, Nick Camarado, and the new guy, Zach Clayton. Perfect. There you go. There's your trios match.
Who wins that? Because everyone's beat. Because Anthony Ogogo's in the match. Usually, if he's in the Factory matches, they usually win. So who wins? I'm assuming you're just gonna have like the Trustbusters win and Blake Christian take the loss or something. I don't even know.
Well, wait, is Blake Christian with the Factory?
No, I'm sorry, not Blake Christian. Blake Lee. Blake Lee.
Well, yeah. I mean, it really comes down to the fact that both teams need a win, so make this uber competitive. Like, they're both desperate for a win. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Can do a segment like that on Dark where they're itching for a win, and one team is going to come up short. That's just how it is. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that the win-loss record can be a crutch. It could also be the greatest asset. Use it to your advantage here. This could be a competitive match. So there you go. There's that team. So my version of the Trustbusters, which is Jora Joel, Rohit Raju, and Ari Davari, taking on Zach Clayton, Anthony. If you really want, you could replace Anthony Ogogo with Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado.
Okay. So the tag team anyway.
Factor it any way you want to do it, right?
And I think it meant Blake Lee because Zach Clayton's not in the Factory. So.
I thought he was. Okay. Could have fooled me with the way he's been acting lately. For the FTW Championship, which I said I was going to book on the show, we're going to have Hook versus... Who's the guy I mentioned already?
Zach Clayton.
No, not Zach Clayton. The one I... Oh, Rohit Raju versus Hook. Okay.
He's already in a match now, so he can't.
Okay, so Hook. And we're not going to have it be a squash. This is going to actually be a competitive matchup. I want it, personally, to be an indie wrestler. So I'm going to give this to Ted Goods.
Yeah.
That's going to be a competitive fucking match. You're going to go 10 to 11 minutes. Teddy's going to get his shit in. Hook is going to get him. Catch him with the red drum. He's going to shake his hand. And you have a potential star that you can possibly sign down the road. For the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. Or actually, I'll book the Women's Championship first. If it's Thunder Rosa, I'm going to book... I'm going to book Emi Sakura.
That makes sense.
And if you don't want a title match, I'm going to book Toni Storm versus Emi Sakura. If you do want a title match, but you have to have Jade Cargill in that mix, I'm going to have Jade Cargill take on... Let's see, let me think about this one. This might be a little bit tougher. But... Kayla fucking Rossi.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Why not? Start that fucking deal. Have Jade Cargill come out with an open challenge. Kayla Rossi comes to accept, steps up, and fucking shoves her down on her ass. And then we have the fucking feud. Bam, it starts on Dark. Then it progresses. Maybe it makes its way to Rampage. Then it slowly comes into Dynamite. And next thing you know, you have a title program for Full Gear in a few months' time. I just booked your fucking next title program for the TBS title on Dark.
It is.
And then for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, book Kip Sabian versus Pac and do it now.
I love it, yeah.
Done. If you use this, give me royalties, motherfuckers.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a hell of a show. And look, it's an hour and a half and only 6 matches and like there's only
and
a few
most of them are
squash
competitive.
Yeah.
Hell, it doesn't even have to go the full hour and a half, probably. I wouldn't mind it. I'm sure a lot of other people would agree.
All right, now let's review the Epic show this week. Awesome Epic.
What a fucking show, yeah.
There's
a lot that happened.
My notes are going to be in order because James and I watched the show together. We were just watching the show, so I took my notes like at a later date. So my notes aren't going to be in order, but I tried to organize them enough where like it would at least be organizable. So,
Right.
Yeah. So this is our second Dynamite, James and I. A second Dynamite we watched together because we watched the Dynamite when the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship was defended for the first time, and then we watched the Dynamite. We watched this Dynamite.
I think in person together. I think the other Dynamite we watched together was on a Discord call for a watch party. I think, or no, was that a Rampage?
That was Rampage.
That's
what I was thinking of. So
yeah.
What a show. Let's do a quick rant. Game of Thrones tried to ruin this show. Boy, did they try. There did they try.
Yeah.
We didn't even get an awesome intro every week that we got for Dynamite. We got this awful mess of, like, they were doing
Which, by the way, that theme in and of itself needs to change because that theme is awful, but the intro is cool.
Yeah. We got, like, this mess where, like, they combined, like, the trailer for the House of the Dragon show, and they just, like, added AEW wrestlers in there. And
I get pleasing sponsors. I get it. You could have done it in a lot more of a tongue-in-cheek way than just making this a TV special.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, this did not need to be a TV special. Now, granted, AEW does what they do best when they're put in a situation like this. Boy, did they make it fucking work, especially in one of the fucking matches.
Yeah. I would say this too, like, you know, I feel bad for AEW because it's not like they're gonna get any ads from this because it's on HBO Max, and HBO Max don't do commercials, so they can't even advertise AEW on there. So it's like, what did they get really other than money out of it? It's nothing.
I mean, yeah, it's just an appease the sponsor type deal. That's what it felt like, you know. Which is fair enough. AEW's been doing that for a while, but it was a lot less of a problem beforehand. I don't know what was going on here.
Yeah. I don't know what. Just to take my angle out, I will not watch Game of Thrones ever now because it tried to ruin. Oh,
bro, I haven't watched fucking Game of Thrones since I heard season 8 was a bust. I was actually gonna try and watch something different than wrestling for change, and everybody said season 8 was a pile of shit. And I'm like, well, there goes that one.
Well, I have like a rule: if you ruin wrestling for me, you don't get watched. So that's my rule. So it's a bad rule, but you know, that's my rule.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about this. What an epic start to the show. So typically AEW doesn't do promos to start the show, but boy, did they do a promo! And this was necessary to start the show this week.
Oh yeah, big time.
What happened?
Yeah, big time.
And now that there's a lot that's come out, we're gonna break this promo down, and then there's a lot that came out of this promo once it happened. I'm going to break this down. So
you know what? I'll save you the trouble. Hold on a second. Until we see next week, the Adam Page thing will not get covered by me. You want to cover it, you can. I am not covering this shit. We're going to wait until after this week because I am sick to death of people jumping the fucking gun. Keep in mind who Tony is fucking friends with. Hello. He's friends with the Dirt Sheets. He's friends with Sean Ross Sapp. He's friends with Dave Meltzer. He's legit buds with Brian Alvarez. He's got them in his back pocket to further angles. He's done it before. Let's chill before we just jump to conclusions here. Because you know what I'm suspecting? They're going to have MJF come back this week. They're going to have the match.
I'll say that for say that for the predictions at the end.
You know what? Yeah, well, I'll save that. I'll hold off.
But yeah, so CM Punk comes out, and he comes out this time with the AEW Championship. Because somebody made a comment last week that they didn't make it clear that Punk was still the champ. And it's like, did you watch the show? Excalibur clearly said he was still the champion. Like, I don't understand what they were talking about there.
It's an interim championship. They said it for weeks before anyway. And
so
like, no, he's the world champion. Guys, stop trying to pretend like you don't know what an interim champion is.
Yeah. So CM Punk, he comes out and he talks about how he loves feeling the energy of the crowd because he hasn't felt this in like a month.
Right.
I think over a month by the time it aired, actually.
Yeah, true.
And I think CM Punk read the room. He knew where he was at, so he was like, before I get to what I want to say, I'm calling out Heyman and Page for his rematch. And if he wants his rematch, you can have it tonight. And
they're in Charleston, West Virginia, was his reasoning.
Yeah. And then he didn't come out, and CM Punk was like, Well, he talks all this crap about me, and then he doesn't back it up. I love this, though. I know he went off script and everything, but I honestly think it added to their feud, and I think Punk realized he was going to be the heel on this show, so he made the crowd boo him here. I personally hate what CM Punk did here, and now it's getting AEW talked about now too. So
exactly,
I think CM Punk knew
as well. And by the way, not for nothing. You know, they just had a shoot promo not too long ago with MJF.
Yeah.
And it was on the same show. It was on the same program. It was Dynamite. Okay? They've been doing this ever since the merger with Discovery happened because they're trying to blend reality with fiction. Which, again, they don't have to do because Discovery has even went out and said, hey, we're cool with your ratings. But AEW knows how to adapt and please, even if the ratings are good. Or at least decent enough for the advertiser in question. So
yeah.
He knows how to adapt here. And he's adapting. And he's got the fucking resources to do it.
Yeah.
We'll get to my prediction towards the end, but
so CM Punk then starts talking about Jon Moxley, and boy, did he pulled out his shotgun and he just started fighting away.
Bro, he just fucking. I love this promo so much. Like he basically called Dean Ambrose the worst member of his own faction, and that seems to be a constant running theme of his entire career. Basically mentioning his time in the Shield. What a fucking pipe! This is the definition of a pipe bomb here.
He talked about how how he's shared the locker room with Kingston, but he shared a better. He's
not even the best Kingston he's fought in pro wrestling.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Every one of Jon Moxley's friends is second best, including himself. I'm like, Jesus. Bro, and then eventually, where did this animosity come from? You guys tagged he helped you win a match to get to Max.
He then talked about how he's beaten Jon Moxley every time he's been in the ring with him, which I think is true. I think that's true because he fought him every time.
He did. In the field. So I think there was one time in CCW. I think there might have been. There was another time in I think FCW.
Did they fight in? Did they fight in NXT?
They did fight in FCW. This is like pre NXT. This is like towards the tail end of the FCW run. He ended up fighting Moxley there, and he fought Moxley while he was in the Shield in WWE.
Twice.
So I think it's been a total of 3 matches so far, and Punk's come out on top every single one.
Yeah, and then Jon Moxley finally came out, and CM Punk. It doesn't just end there. CM Punk even does. Oh, this is gonna take a while. He starts
doing Snow Angels. I thought I was watching CM Punk. I thought I was watching CM Punk from 2011, bro. The whole Snow Angels bit.
And then Jon Moxley comes out, and he doesn't even really say all that much. And then Jon Moxley I think he goes to say something, and then CM Punk just cuts him off and says, no, Jon Moxley says that he's been the heart and soul of AEW, and then CM Punk cuts him right off and says, and I'm the one that's putting the ticket sales and TV ratings up. And Jon Moxley then says, yeah, but did you ran out of money, so you ended up having to come here. It was like Moxley's comeback.
These guys were going off on each other, dude. Like, it was insane. Like, and it's crazy because, like, what it ended up with leading up to was probably the biggest twist in this entire thing, which we'll get to. But it was golden.
And then Jon Moxley talked about
the only complaint I have is that we at least did get the mention of his little stint in rehab, and Punk saying he's proud of him. Because that's the only thing. That's like my only critique. Otherwise, just
yeah. Then Jon Moxley starts talking about how he's been in the ring, bleeding, and making everybody pass out while he's been sitting at home with his championship, doing nothing with his feet hauled up on the table and everything. Yeah. And CM Punk then says, "So if I headbutt you right now, are you gonna bleed?" Like it was because that's obviously a reference. The fans have been the fans have been trashing that. Then eventually they just start like they get into this massive wall, and they just have to be, it's a polar pop ball. They have to be separated and everything, and this just ruled so much.
So fucking cool. Oh my god.
And you would think, by the way, that we thought this was going to be it because they announced at this point that they were going to have a match at All Out. So let's talk about the next thing, and because it has to do with it. Tony Nese later on was supposed to come out for a match or like a segment or something. We never even got that.
We just didn't even get that far because Moxley just fucking bum rushes him and hijacks the show. It says, "Nah, fuck you, motherfucker. I ain't done with you. Get your ass out here right now. We're gonna decide who the champion is right now. I'm not fucking waiting until All Out."
There's one thing we forgot to talk about too, by the way, in the promo. How Devon Moxley said he got sick and tired of people calling him an interim world champion.
Yeah, which was like a big thing. Yeah.
And then Punk and Moxley went at it again, and dude, this time Willie
crazy looking Punk's eye here, and Moxley just being a crazy psychopath himself is fucking. Oh my god!
The biggest thing that came out of this is it took Claudio Castagnoli and Willa Yuta to finally hold Moxley back.
And by the way, that has been like, other than the time where Claudio high-fived Mox, has been the only other time he's both the Ring of Honor and AEW World Champion of the Black Blue Combat Club have been in the segment together.
Yeah,
I love that. I want them in like some sort of photo op before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
I do want that photo op where Moxley, Claudio, Yuta, and Danielson are, all in a photo op, and you got 3 out of the 4 holding gold. I do want to see that eventually. But this is really fucking cool that I got to finally see the AEW and ROH World Champions react here.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
So then we're like, okay, we'll wait for we'll talk about building hype for the pay-per-view. I don't know what they're gonna do now. Right before the main event, they announced that the championship unification match. It's next week. Punk versus Mox. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, it was during the main event we see that announcement. I'm like, no one's going to fucking see this live. Oh, by the way, as if he wasn't seeing enough live. Then on Rampage, they announced Dustin Rhodes versus fucking Claudio Castagnoli. So both world titles are going to be on the line on this fucking episode, and Noah gets to go with them. Lucky son of a bitch.
I know. The only Dynamite I wouldn't trade to see live for that is probably a show where FTO and the Bucks fought and Moxley and Yuta fought in the same show. That's the only thing I wouldn't trade. I would trade every other maybe the second one I wouldn't trade either though. The second one was fire, but like this match is gonna be insane live. And you know what I'm really looking forward to? It's tomorrow night too. The road to is going to be insane for this match too.
It has to be. I mean, because everything is starting to line perfectly here, and we'll get to why I think they did this in a minute. By the way, because
this is
they are going to blow the entire social media landscape ablaze when the man comes back.
Yeah, this was awesome though. This is like. If I had 3 thumbs, I'd get 3 thumbs up. This is
outstanding stuff. I mean, so captivating. 2 of the best fucking mic talkers in the business, just doing what they do best and having an all-out brawl as if it wasn't already great enough.
Yeah.
Fucking outstanding work by these guys. Again, AEW knows how to adapt given the situation. This is one of those times. Big time.
This was awesome. Then we had an awesome match to kick off the actual show itself. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match.
They knew when they had Punk and Danielson back, they were not wasting fucking time here.
It was American Dragon versus the Dragon Slayer. American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Dragon Slayer Daniel Garcia. We had Rick the Dragon Steamboat as the special guest timekeeper for this match.
House of the Rising Dragon. This is fucking very clever by Tony.
Yeah.
This is really well done. I get the cheek on you fuckers. I appreciate it though. That was really well done. That was awesome.
What a match here. This was wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Jericho came out and did commentary for it. I feel like we lucked out that we watched this together because we didn't have to hear Jericho on commentary, so that was great.
Thank God.
I will say, at least his commentary's better now because now he's a heel, so it makes it a little bit better now. So
You know what? I would say that, except we'll get to that problem when we get to Rampage.
oh yeah, I forgot he was on commentary for Rampage.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So this was insane. So these two just start off by having just a technical masterpiece. No one really getting the better of the other. I think it's mainly Garcia that's actually like I think no one's getting better than the other, but then eventually like Garcia just starts like taking Bryan Danielson to school, like, which is weird because Bryan Danielson's a veteran. Somehow Garcia was taking this guy to school. Like that's insane.
Yeah, that was really well done. Like the way they were doing this was fucking awesome. I mean, this went through I think 3 commercial breaks or some shit.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or was it a picture-in-picture and a commercial break? It was
2 picture-in-picture and a commercial break.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. I mean, that's not often AEW does that. I mean, I know why they did it because they were trying to fucking have dragon characters to promote the fucking HBO thing or whatever. But like, still, you know, the way they did it, like if that was a reason just to get this ready to go, like. So be it, man. We got that's out of it.
This is one of those matches you just have to go watch for yourself and just like enjoy. I'll say how they got the falls. Garcia got the first fall by hitting a pile driver and doing the dragon, not the dragon sleep. Yeah, the dragon sleeper on Danielson. I think he put him out with the dragon sleeper. No, he didn't. It was the same way he beat him the last time.
No, it was a dragon sleeper.
Yeah, it was a dragon sleeper.
It was just it was the taking care of business variation, I think.
Yeah. And then Danielson was out for a bit, so they were doing like they were making sure he wasn't knocked out, so they started counting, but then eventually got to his feet. And I'm pissed we missed this part. This is the only thing I'll say. This was when they did the commercial break. We missed freaking Danielson like getting power drived or whatever happened. No, DDT'd onto the concrete floor. We missed that. Yeah, of all times that AEW does a commercial break. Yeah,
that's when you do a commercial break. Fuck.
Yeah. But then Danielson got like a quick roll up out of nowhere. This happened so fast. I literally looked away for a second, and all of a sudden, Bryan Danielson got like a fall somehow. Like I'm like, wait, what happened? Like I didn't even know what happened.
He got a roll up, and it was a really innovative roll up too because it was how did he get the roll up? It was like he got him in a pin I've never seen before.
Yeah,
it was really well done.
I could say I've never seen it before because I missed it. So
that's true.
And then the ending is just like they just both start going ham on each other, and eventually Bryan Danielson locks Daniel Garcia into the label lock. Just starts with
he's
lane waste
on this fucking move.
Yeah,
and Garcia ends up passing out and doesn't.
Yeah,
what a fucking story! And the post match was great too.
Let's talk about the match first. This match was this made Garcia look so much better than if he would have just beaten him because. No, he never. If you think about Bryan Danielson, never actually really beat Garcia. Like he got a fluke win, and he made him pass. He didn't make him tap. So Garcia looked stronger coming out of this match than he did going into this match. So I thought that was awesome.
Big time. And he didn't have like the issue. And I think Garcia technically got over on Danielson dirty, right?
Yeah, he did.
In the first match, so he may have lost clean here, but he looked so good in defeat here. Like, wow.
And then afterwards,
young guy.
Chris Jericho and was it Hager or was it Guevara? It was Hager, right?
Yes.
It was Jericho and Hager. I start attacking Bryan Danielson. No, first they do a handshake, Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia, and then Then Jericho and Hager start attacking Bryan Danielson, and then Garcia like grabs Jericho and just looks at him face to face like to get off of him, and Jericho's like, "Wait, what are you doing? You're supposed. Whose side are you on here?" And
Loved it.
Like Jericho and Hager, like legit.
And I see you just see how conflicted Garcia is because for those who don't know the story, Jericho paid some of money and undisclosed, but it was eventually found out and broken by dirt sheets that he paid money to help Daniel Garcia recover and get surgery for a horrible car crash he was in, right? Because there was a point in time where he needed a certain amount of money or he was not going to be able to walk again, never mind wrestle. And he needed a certain type of surgery for that to happen. And Jericho, he did a GoFundMe and Jericho donated like I don't even know how much. So that's legit for shoot why, Garcia's with Jericho right now is because that's what happened in real life. And then you add the whole idea that Garcia literally was inspired by Bryan Danielson.
That was the first name
that reason why he became a pro wrestler, and Danielson also mentioned his name for the Blackpool Combat Club. Dude,
not just mention his name. That was the first name he mentioned.
First thing he mentioned. These motherfuckers have just made a star in about what? 3 segments maybe? Over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It only took 3 weeks, and they just made a fucking superstar out of a dude who's not even, what, like 22?
I know.
This dude,
so then
that's fucking great. I love how and they did the same thing with Yuta when he was joining the Blackpool Combat Club, too. Like, this is exactly what they did, just with different circumstances and different people. That's all this is, really. Like, they're building a fucking star here.
Yeah.
And a young star at that.
Absolutely. And not a WWE, I mean, because that's some of the complaints. Not a WWE guy. This is going to be their star that they're going to make, too.
This is a big-time dude. Like, this could be their their Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
This will be their Bryan Danielson come, 20, 30 years. You're looking at future TNT champion, future All-Atlantic champion, right there.
Yeah.
Maybe even future Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, this guy is gonna do bits in the TK Promotions arena here. He really will.
So then afterwards, after like a bit, Jericho later in the show does a promo backstage, and he basically gives Daniel Garcia an ultimatum. Next week, he's going to give him an ultimatum, and he has to choose a side. Is he with him or Bryan Danielson? We're going to do a prediction about that later in the show. And then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat comes up, and he says basically that Bryan Danielson should choose... No, Daniel Garcia should choose Bryan Danielson. He thinks Bryan Danielson will be a better coach for him. And Jericho says, this is why I've hated you for 15 years. Put it up the fact... AEW even brought up the WrestleMania 25 feud that they had.
Dude, I love long-term storytelling like this.
Yeah.
I love it. Especially, not even that. The fact that they had a short-term story. They had a long-term story. Like a real-life long-term story. And now they're bringing in a kayfabe long-term story.
Yeah.
From another fucking promotion in the WWE. Like this... Yes. How they did this, bravo.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. Then, bravo. I loved it all.
And then afterwards, when Jericho walks away, 2.0 start mouthing off to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he just lays one of them out, which I thought that was fine, because 2.0, looked good. I know you could say they look like fools here, but they still looked good being in the segment with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat anyways. So I thought...
I mean, they're made. I mean, they're going to be comedy mostly, but they were like that anyway sometimes. But they can wrestle,
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah, awesome stuff here with Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia. This is the whole thing that happened. So then Powerhouse Hobbs got interviewed, and I love the reason he gave for turning on Ricky Starks. He said that the reason he turned on Ricky Starks is he was just satisfied with being a loser, even though he was trying to do everything he could to try to help him win. He was just satisfied with being a loser, and now he says he's going to end Ricky Starks. But he says, first, my problem is with the factory. And he walks off to go look for them. And, we're going to find out what's going to happen with that when we talk about Rampage. But I like this a lot. I think Powerhouse Hobbs has really shined a lot as of late. So this is
he's stuff. Really good here. He's really good. Although less robotic-ish with the tone. He still sounds menacing, but needs to be a little bit less.
Yeah,
robotic.
I mean, this is the first. I will call him a little bit.
He was better. I will say that right now. He was way better on Rampage. I'll get to watch.
I will give him a little bit of a break because this is his first time cutting a promo by himself.
Yeah, I mean, you're only gonna get better as time goes on,
Yeah. And then also throughout the show, they set up a trios match. So Jay Lethal, Satnamson, and Sanjay Dutt did a promo backstage. They were just burying FTR pretty much. And Sanjay Dutt challenges them.
Understatement. Oh my god, why aren't they in the fucking trust bus? God damn it.
Yeah, I know they should be there, but whatever. So Sanjay Dutt They challenge FTR and Wardlow to a trios match at All Out, and Satnam Singh challenges Wardlow to powerbomb him, and Jay Lethal obviously just mouths off on FTR because he basically like buries their time in our weights pretty much, and he buries Wardlow for a really good promo here. I thought everybody, even Satnam Singh, was really good when the little bit he talked.
Yeah, I agree.
And then before we break down, then FTR and Wardlow did a promo, and they explained that they helped Wardlow because they're the Pinnacle, and the Pinnacle was always on top, and the Pinnacle for life and all that.
Man, I love it. I love this. I love this. I couldn't believe it. So, they already mentioned the Pinnacle. They're not going to mention the fucking Pinnacle, because guess who led the fucking Pinnacle?
MJF.
Guess who's coming back, probably? MJF.
Yeah.
We don't know when, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Continuing, then they accepted the trios match at All Out, but Dax Harwood challenged Jay Lethal to a match this week, but he said next week. But we're filming this on Monday, so it's this week. I'm looking forward to that so much. That match is gonna woo Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal. I love this trios match, by the way, because
this is so good. It's actual trios too. It's actual trios. Like, again, AEW legitimately has a trios division, even more so than what you see on those fucking brackets. Like, they got a ton of fucking trio teams. It's actually scary how many trios they have. I think they have more trios than they do tag team, actually, right now.
And the best thing about this is, while I want to see Satnam Singh versus Wardlow, and I think Satnam Singh's doing pretty well in his elevation matches and stuff, I don't think he's ready to have like a one-on-one match right now. So this way we can get that face-off with Wardlow and Satnam Singh. We'll just get in this trios match. So I think this.
I gotta say this right now. Please hire Teddy, and to have him manage the tag division. Please.
I know. I want to see that happen.
He deserves, after all his years of loving this man deserves to run a tag team division, especially 6-man. This man deserves that. You cannot rob this man of that dignity. Put him in that hot seat.
He need if
commentate even. Fuck it. Do bracketology. Just have Teddy do something with the tag division.
I don't know if he can do commentary. I think he'll get too excited. So
exactly. But that's what we want.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the setup to the FTR, Wardlow, Jay Lethal?
Big thumbs up. Really well done here.
I'm really looking forward. What do you think of Satnam Singh's progression so far in AEW? I actually think he's been doing really well for him.
So good. Oh my god, put him on dude, him and Captain Insano's got to happen at All Out. Please.
Yeah.
It's got to, right? Like, they got to be building to something there.
All right, it's time to rant. We had the Gun Club versus the Varsity Blondes. So,
okay.
Let me hype you up a little bit. So, you were looking forward to this match all day, right? You were like, oh, this is going to be a pretty... I wish, like, the Varsity Blondes would get pushed and things like that, but you were like, okay, but they're at least going to get, like, a chance to showcase themselves. This is going to be a really good match. Now talk about it.
The Gun Club come out angrily bury the Varsity Blondes.
Did the Varsity Blondes even? Did the Varsity Blondes? I don't think they got any offense in either.
Zero offense. Now, when I mentioned the Four Horsemen, I mentioned Brian Pillman Jr. He was not even tagged into the fucking match. I think Griff took the loss here.
He did.
So, maybe this is their plan, is to eventually just make Brock Anderson and Brian Pillman Jr. the team, and they're just sick of fucking Garrison. He's just sick of Garrison shit, and, I don't know, Anderson's sick of Lee Johnson shit, and his father's shit.
Anderson and Lee Johnson haven't teamed up in, like, I don't even know how long.
Let's just call this what it is. This was a bad way to get to whatever fucking destination you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Period. Now, I understand what I said before, where you can do, squash matches when people just had a bad fucking week. Here's the thing. Gun Club won last week. They won last week.
They had a competitive match with Eric Redbeard and Danhausen, not even a real tag team.
Yeah. So, the roles should have been fucking reversed here. If you're gonna do this, just have fucking Danhausen and somebody else, I don't care who, team up together and fucking fight and lose. If you were gonna do something like this. Danhausen's the fucking guy they're feuding with anyway. He popularized the Ass Boys. So do that. Fuck.
The thing is, too, like, with the squash match, if you do it with Hausen, it's not going to hurt him because he's over regardless. Like,
this so bullshit. I can't even begin to describe how annoyed I am about this. Yeah. This motherfucker in Brian Pillman Jr. was literally on a major feud on this very same television show with MJF. Your second biggest draw in the fucking company, and now you're gonna fucking just job him out. I don't care if Garrison take the loss. I don't care. You couldn't have put any other fucking team in this fucking role. You have the Factory. You've had heels fight heels all the time. Why didn't you do that here? You have fucking at least 3 other teams that you could have put in that spot than the fucking Varsity Blondes. You might as well not have even booked them on the fucking show. Seriously.
Yeah.
I would have much rather them cut a vignette or some shit. I don't know. That's fucking.
Yeah, this
is dumb.
Then what we got was better, but I think we were in such a bad mood with what happened with the Varsity Blondes that we just didn't care. But I will admit what we got was.
And for the record, that's not how that fucking. I don't know. I normally I'd be like, hey, that's not how that works. With the whole scissoring thing, but it's like, dude, what are we doing here? And by the way, Stokely tried to come out as well after they turned on Dada, Papa Gunn, right? Which everybody could see coming from a mile of fucking way. So they're beating him down, and then Stokely's trying to come in, and for some reason he's fucking timid. I don't know why. You fucking convinced him to do this, did you not? You're trying to build this super group or whatever.
That was the whole storyline, yeah.
Right, so you do that. I assume it's to build Stokely Enterprises, whatever the fuck you're going to call it. And then the Acclaim just rush down, and then fucking Stokely runs away.
Yeah, I didn't really understand
what is going on? Just fucking get it over with. Have them join Stokely.
So this segment, I was to say it was good on paper, but I forgot. But the Varsity Blondes being squashed is also on that very same paper, so it wasn't even good on paper. So
no, it wasn't.
This honestly, I don't even know. This might be one of the worst AEW segments I think I've seen this year. I don't know if it's the worst one ever because we've had the Nightmare Factory and obviously
the only one that taught the Nightmare Factory was bad, but not to this level.
This was
the only thing that fucking there was only 2 that tops this, and that's the Nightmare Collective and the Dark Order bullshit. That's it. Everything else doesn't even come close to how bad this was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this was pretty bad.
This shouldn't have been booked.
Yeah,
it was a disaster fucking play here.
This is 2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
Then we got something awesome after this. Well, first, let me just mention it. We got a little promo segment backstage with Swerve and Our Glory and Private Party to hype up the tag title match.
Which we'll get to. I enjoyed all of this. We'll get to why later.
I enjoyed the promo segment, though. I really enjoyed, how everyone was just cutting fiery promos on each other and stuff. I even loved how Keith Lee brought up the fact, that he basically destroyed him his first match in and all that type of stuff. And how they brought up the fact that they were ranked number 5, but they were getting a tag title match anyway. So I enjoyed how they did all that. Then we got awesome again. I think the rest of the show was like pretty damn awesome afterwards. Jungle Boy cuts a promo, and boy did he cut a promo. So he comes out, and he pretty much says that he's been basically trying to murder Christian Cage, and he wants him to come out here and face him in a match at All Out. Christian Cage comes out and denies this request, and we found out that Luchasaurus has been suspended. I don't know how long, but because I couldn't hear it, but he's going to be suspended for a while. I imagine he's going to be at all.
Which makes all the sense of the fucking world, considering, I don't know, he tried to run down him and Tony Schiavone with a goddamn car.
No, Luchasaurus was suspended. He was suspended for attacking Pat Buck, the road agent and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Christian Cage talks about how basically they should just put an end to this because Jungle Boy's just going too far by trying to murder him, pretty much. And he says that he can take him to the promised land. He can make him a world champion. So then Jungle Boy, Christian Cage goes for a hug. Jungle Boy acts like he's going to go for a hug, but instead he just tackles Christian Cage down to the ground.
Yeah, fucking full on double leg, fucking slips him up and then just starts ground and pound.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
this
then
is fucking great, man.
No, this wasn't it. Because after Christian Cage got the advantage, Jungle Boy threw him into the steps, and Jungle Boy took Christian Cage's hand and stomped it onto the steps,
breaking his arm.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really enjoyed this a lot. This
is fucking really good here.
If this is, I did say that I think this is going to be like Christian Cage. I don't think it will be his last match or anything, but I think this is going to be his last big program before he retires and everything.
Oh yeah, sure. And this is keep in mind, like AEW's been making young stars left and right, and I feel like a lot of people are just like, well, no, they didn't. It's just haters being haters, really. And I'm like, dude, they have a lot of problems on Dark, but Dark's a separate thing, which they need to fucking fix, right? But over the last few weeks, Hook, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jungle Boy, fucking Darby Allin, even though he was already made, Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, there's plenty of fucking other. The fact that I can name all of those off the top of my fucking head.
I'd say the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed, yeah, they were in a shit segment this week, but oh well,
Brody King.
It'll be Brody King, fucking big time shit, man. Like, this is like they're making stars here. They're making big time stars. And I think people kind of lose sight of that because they're just thinking, oh no, this is whatever. No, this is the future of the company we're witnessing here. This isn't just something you just scoff at here. Like, they're legitimately building a future main event scene here, and even a mid card scene in some cases.
Yeah. Then we had Death Triangle. This was the first appearance together since Pac won the All-Atlantic Championship.
Who has been defending it all over the fucking goddamn place.
Death Triangle are backstage, and they basically cut a promo on Will Ospreay and Aussie Open because they're facing them in the first round in the Trios tournament. And they cut some really good fiery promos onto Death Triangle. And there was a reference here to Kip Sabian because they mentioned that you just hide behind a red box, and I really enjoyed that. So
that was good. Yeah, good shit.
Then we had Kylan King versus Tony Storm. This was a hell of a match here. Really enjoyable.
Kylan King, you should sign immediately.
I think they're gonna, because she's on next week too. So.
Good. Okay, so they have future plans for her. Man, good for Noah, man. I know he's been like the biggest supporter of Kylan King, and that's a big deal for him, I'm sure. Dude, he has got the lucky... Dude, if you are in Noah's shoes, you're like happier than a pig and shit right now.
I know.
He gets to see Kylan King on Dynamite. He gets to see 2 world title matches. He gets to see Los Ingonables taking on... What is the team they're fighting next week? I forget already. But,
Los Ingonables. You mean... You mean Death Triangle versus Will
Oh
Ospreay and Ozzy?
yeah. Aussie Open, right? Aussie Open versus Death Triangle. Sorry, I get the teams mixed up sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he gets to see all that live. He's so
and he gets to see
stoked.
he gets to see Dark Order versus House of Black next week too. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Claudio versus Dustin too. He gets to see that live next week too.
I mentioned the world titles already.
Oh, but yeah. Anyhow, this was a really good match here. Tony Storm won with the running hip attack. But yeah, Kylan Ken looked really strong. And then afterwards, I think later in the show, we found out that this got Tony Storm an AEW Women's World Championship match at All Out. I think she's turning heel because
which is fair. Fair enough.
That she was a really good heel in NXT, and I really think she can do the good heel run in AEW.
You think she's gonna have a heel run with the title and maybe take the Renegade Twins under her wing, or do you think she'll go for other people, or do you think she'll just do it on her own?
I think she'll just do it on her own. I think she's gonna be like she's gonna be like upset. I think the whole heel turn's gonna be that she's gonna be upset with and I think too they're not gonna join forces or anything, but Britt Baker's gonna like plant the seed that she's possibly gonna turn heel this week on Dynamite when they have a backstage segment or something like that. So
yeah, I think they did that on Rampage already, didn't they?
But I'm saying that I think there's gonna be like a direct conversation between them backstage and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
So,
yeah, you're probably right.
Then we had the main event, and we knew why this was main event, and there was only one reason this was main event, and it was the Young Bucks and a mystery partner versus Andrade Alito, Roosh, and Dragon Lee in the AEW World Tag Team Trios Tournament quarterfinals matchup. Oh my gosh. I loved every second. Kenny Omega's back.
Anybody that ever wants to give Kenny Omega shit for not selling, quote unquote, I never want to hear shit from you fuckers ever again.
Yeah. Not only... I'll tell you too, the second I knew that Kenny Omega was coming back. When Brandon Cutler... Yeah, when Justin Roberts got the list from Brandon Cutler, I'm like, oh my god.
I knew exactly what he was about to read off.
What a match for his first match back too.
Yeah, man. And fuck me, was Don Callis happy? He was worried and also happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was MT Nakazawa's back now too. That's awesome.
I can't believe they kept him off for that long just so Kenny could come back. That was
I know.
Fucking crazy.
What a match this was too. Hell of a match. I'm surprised Kenny Omega took the heat in this match. He didn't just come back. I thought he'd get the hot tag and not do anything until the end or something. But no, he took a shit ticket in this match. I believe it's Dragon Lee. He does a suicide dive to Kenny Omega.
Yeah, a suicide dive cannonball to the outside on fucking concrete. That's when I knew he was fine. It's yeah, Omega's back. Crazy.
Yeah,
this just comes back. First match in, he's taking a fucking full-on cannonball onto goddamn concrete. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, then Kenny Omega won with. You just got to see this match for yourself. It's that good. Once this match ended, I'm like, oh my gosh, Rampage, I feel bad for you having to follow this. And they kind of were able to follow it a little bit this time. So, Kenny Omega beat Dragon Lee with the One-Winged Angel, and afterwards, I don't think we were meant to see this on live because it was kind of weird how it happened. I think
I think they were meant to do it the way they did it, but
it happened so abruptly. Though it was what happened.
They just basically turned on Dragon Lee because he lost a match. I'm really sad by this idea that they did this. Yeah. It's man, why do you do that?
Especially too, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the good thing we're gonna get a kick-ass Dragon Lee and Andrade Alito match, but I would rather
just see absolutely, probably at All Out.
I would just rather see them all be a trios together. You don't even have to have Dragon Lee be a heel either. He could just be aligned with his brother.
You've done that with every other faction in fucking AEW under the sun at this point.
Yeah. And then afterwards, there was a promo that Kenny Omega cut after the show, it's on their YouTube channel and everything afterwards, where he basically talks about how he's happy to be back. He didn't know when he was going to be able to come back. He was frustrated him being out for so long, which we know because Tony Khan had to keep sending this guy home.
Yeah, we were well aware. We were well aware he was upset.
And he was like upset with the. He was saying he feels weird because he was upset with the fans because it was kind of he wasn't being a heel here. He was just being real. Because the fans make him do all this crazy stuff that he's doing and all this type of stuff. But he says it. But he says, you know what? I feel weird. I'm just gonna be weird, and I'm just gonna like your fans anyway. Like, it's such a Kenny Omega Young Bucks promo that like you have to go watch it. It's so awesome.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, what's your letter grade for Dynamite?
I'll give it an A-. Would have been a solid A if it wasn't for that fucking Varsity Blonde thing.
It would have been an S rank then if it wasn't for the Varsity Blonde thing, actually.
For you? Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I've seen a lot more crazier shows by this point.
But to be fair, I think watching it not solo also helped the show too. So
yeah, probably.
All right, let's talk about Rampage. The last show we had a lot happened on Rampage this week. I think
it was actually an eventful fucking week. First off, let's just get the rant out of the way first.
Sure.
Get the fucking guy off commentary. Jericho needs to go. He's
it's
so
bad,
dude. Okay, so listen, he's a heel, right? You said that was your argument beforehand. Why is he then, after trashing Ricky Steamboat, then praising him all of a sudden? Then, which is fair enough. I mean, whatever. You give respect to when they're due, whatever. But then he goes, wow. And it's like excited for a Dustin Rhodes Claudio Castagnoli match. You motherfucker were feuding with one of those fucking participants, and your first instinctive thing is to go, wow?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know if he's. I know he's given like the full range to say whatever he wants, but I guess this is an example.
That's a blessing and a fucking curse sometimes, especially behind the booth.
Yeah, this is an example, I guess, where I think a lot of people think just because you're good on the mic, you're going to be good at commentary. That I think
not at all. This is not the case. Bro, okay. Here's another fucking problem. As the night goes on, I think it was what was the match where he's complimenting, where he's saying Hook kick his ass? It was Zach Clayton, right?
Zach Clayton, yeah, he's a heel.
Maybe it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. I feel like it might be, but here's the problem: there were times before this where it wasn't tongue-in-cheek, where he's done the exact same fucking thing when he was a heel the first time. When he's a heel now? When he was a babyface, he was doing heel things, and he flip-flopped when he was on commentary while he was a babyface. This fucking guy can't decide what he's being when he's behind that fucking mic.
Yeah.
You can't. It's confusing to any viewer of the fucking show. Because if you've seen this motherfucker be a heel, it's not like you could get away with it and they're just a part of a trio or a faction and people are doing their own thing and people have their own agenda. You can't do it like that. You're behind the fucking booth. Like, there's a reason why people couldn't stand Michael Cole or Josh Matthews or other people behind the booth, because they were a heel and they were doing commentary, right? But at least those commentators stuck to their fucking guns every fucking time. Yeah. This is way more annoying than that at this point. This is so painstakingly unbearable. Because I don't know what the fuck Jericho's trying to be.
It's also his fault that Mark Henry got booted from the booth off. Right. This is what they put.
And even then, why don't you put Taz in this spot? Or was he even on the show? It was Shivani, right?
It's Excalibur, Jim Ross, and Shivani that do win.
With Jericho. Why is Jericho there? Just remove Jericho. You don't need to replace him. Just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark Henry's not the greatest person in the world. At least he offered a really good soundbite when Punk returned.
What did he even say? I don't remember.
He just went, wow, and then when he saw the fan crying in the crowd, he said, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting emotional on commentary. Like, at least he provides that. At least he knows He's not good, and at least he's good in bits. Jericho talks way too much and doesn't know what the fuck he's trying to be. I'd much rather Henry on commentary than this.
Yeah. Especially if you have him pair him up with Paul White. He does good with Paul White.
Right. Just put Paul in this position. Put Big Show here. Why isn't he here? Why do you gotta have it be Jericho?
I know.
Sorry, like, he's great on everything else for the most part, except for the Eddie Kingston.
I mean, it's also...
we don't talk about that, but everything else is great. This is the one area where I just can't stand him. I actually want... I have to mute the fucking commentary in order to tolerate Rampage.
It's not even just the fact that he talks over everybody, too. Like...
Dude, it's annoying at this fucking point. Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Shabani and or Taz, whoever you decide to put in there that week, should be the only fucking voices you hear.
Yeah.
Hell, if you want somebody, if you really are desperate for a fourth guy, hello, Caprice Coleman?
Yeah, he was good. He's been good in that spot.
He's been great. In fact, make him a main commentator, period. Put him on Dark. Put him live on Dark. Have him commentate Dark solo. Then have him commentate with fucking JR and Shivani on Rampage. Just to fucking differentiate. Please?
Yeah.
Because anything would be better than Jericho on commentary.
You know what the funny thing is, too? Like, Ricky Starks is even better than Jericho on commentary. Like,
yes. And Ricky Starks didn't say much either.
Oh, it's bad.
Actually, no, in Rampage he actually got really good, didn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I retract my statement. That was pandemic Ricky.
Yeah. But I think half the time...
Anthony Ogogo would be a better fit than this.
Yeah. Yeah, what a newsworthy Rampage. Let's talk about it. So, it kicked off with Claudio Castagnoli coming out to cut a promo, which made sense because the fans were drained after seeing Kenny Omega return.
Yeah,
they needed to do
something. They did this smart here, yeah.
I feel like they've done that better the past couple of weeks. Did they have someone come out and cut a promo last week after Punk returned? I'm pretty sure that did happen.
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was Danielson. That's when Danielson came out to cut his promo.
Yeah.
So Claudio Castagnoli comes out and he talks about how, it took him a long time to finally win a world championship, and he finally did it, and now he doesn't want to be like those guys that get complacent. So he wants to issue an open challenge for next week on Rampage.
Love that. Love that.
I didn't even know.
What a simple fucking story here.
Yeah, I didn't even know like who he was going to have come out and accept the open challenge. I did not expect it to be Dustin. I didn't even know.
So fucking ready for this.
I didn't even know it was Dustin Rhodes talking when he even cut that.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. Like, wow. That's so sweet, dude. That's so fucking cool.
And Dustin Rhodes came out, and the reason he gave is so easy to understand why he did it, because he's never been a world champion either, and he saw this potential in Claudio, and seeing him win a world championship inspired him to finally want to get his world champion. I couldn't believe, by the way, that Dustin had never been a world champion anywhere. It's crazy.
And this is such a perfect segment. You put this right at the beginning of Rampage, you calm the crowd down, and you get your point across, and the fans are looking forward to a match down the line.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, really good placement, number one, but really underrated shit here, number two by these guys.
By the way, a lot of people say that Claudio can't talk. Go watch this segment here.
Yeah, shut up. I'll just put it bluntly. You think Claudio can't talk? Shut up. Not only can he can talk 5 languages better than you, me, or anybody else can in this room, including English.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that bullshit.
I can't wait to see that match next week, though. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, this is gonna fucking rule all kinds of ass.
And we have another match.
I'm bringing up Warhorse's catchphrase. Run.
Yeah. Then we have an interview that sets up another match. Ortiz and Ruby Soho call out Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello.
Dude, that's so great. They're just doing these. Like, what the fuck?
No, not only did they call him if you notice, I think they set up another match in between here because they said you just squashed you just took it to a couple of rookies. They also I think set up them versus Dante Mountain and Sky Blue here too.
Yeah, I think they did. No, they did that already though, didn't they?
No, they did. No, I'm saying they set up to Ortiz and Ruby Soho versus Dante Mountain and Sky Blue because they kind of because they barely, so they haven't done that match yet. And I even love
that's really cool.
They basically asked for a match with Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello, and Ortiz just says we could do it this week, next week, 2 years, 10 years. It was like he was just throwing out all these types of things.
He was going crazy. I love when Ortiz just goes fucking nuts, and then Ruby's starting to like slowly get hyped up. You're already hyped, and I was just like getting more hyped. He's just like, yeah, you tell him.
It was awesome.
Oh man,
they should do a triple threat for the AAA mixed belt and involve Dante Mountain and Sky Blue. That'd be awesome.
It'd be interesting. You could do it. You could put it on All Out in the pre-show if you really want
to.
That'd be AAA
if AAA will allow that to happen, I hope they will.
I think they would. I mean, dude, they've already fucking allowed 2 more. You kidding me?
Yeah. Well, if you remember, they didn't allow.
Plus, I mean, they kind of been building. Like, they got. You could also do like Lee Moriarty and one of the fucking baddies too for Stokely's.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's a lot of teams you actually could do it with. Like, it's like Tony Khan heard that they were gonna put it on Ty Mello and Sammy, so like, well, I'll create some teams for you then.
I know.
Like, holy shit. So when does Anna Jay get the fuck back into the Dark Order and says, I fucking hate this shit and team up with John Silver? Can we just get that? Because I'd much rather that than her cringe fest with choking people out, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Then we had the first actual match that took place on Rampage. It was Swerve and Our Glory defending the tag titles against Private Party.
Yeah.
Really good stuff here. Private Party got the heel heat on Swerve Strickland for a while, which I thought was a good way to make sense out of because like a lot of people were like, well, so this obviously should be a squash because if Keith Lee can beat him by himself in a squash, how are they going to do this? I thought they kind of
loved that everything was riding on Private Party for them to win here, and they fucking made them look good in defeat here. By the way, they're really making up for lost time with Private Party.
Yeah.
They're really good. They did this properly. They did this great. And you could see a fucking future faction down the line with these guys.
Swerve Strickland hit the house call, and then and Isaiah Cassidy kicked out, and then afterwards hit the JMLO or JMD, whatever it's called, driver on Isaiah Cassidy for the win.
Yeah, they hit like 3 different moves on him, right? Or some shit like that. Like Keith Lee, I think, hit, what was it?
It wasn't the Spirit Bomb. It would have been like the...
It was the Pounce, right? He hit the Pounce first, and then he kicked out of the Pounce. Then they hit Swerve's house, and he kicked out of that. And it took a fucking move that I think Swerve hadn't used in months to finally put him away. Really good, simple psychology. What a way to put over a fucking team before you beat them. Really and then they fucking shake hands. And they turn them babyface, which means we're going to get a Private Party versus Los Ingobernables match. Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to see that, yeah.
I've been waiting for that since this fucking Los Ingobernables thing has started.
Yeah. I liked it. It was good stuff. This is a really good match here. And, I like that it wasn't too competitive because I think they realized that they would have lost the crowd because they just saw that epic 6-man tag before this. So I like that it wasn't competitive.
It wasn't crazy competitive, but it was competitive enough that it got the team over.
Yeah.
Really good here.
Then the Factory got interviewed. Nick Camarado just looks so weird in that suit or whatever he's wearing now. He just looks weird.
What the fuck is this going on here? Like, so are they all just a mob family now? Is that the fucking gimmick? Are they just mafia for life?
Nick Camarado just needs to be out of the Factory and freaking dominating people. That's
this looks like it's from The Sopranos, and you have Anthony Ogogo who looks like he should be a part of the Mendem.
I know.
Like, what are we doing here? What is going
on? But yeah, Powerhouse Hobb. They were playing dominoes too, actually.
Oh my god, yeah, they were playing dominoes, weren't they?
Which I think, which
and
sounds
Tony,
like something.
And Tony went full on gabagoo here. I don't even know what it fucking said, but he just said something like some sort of Italian slang and then chucked chips down on the fucking table. I'm like, what are you... Dude, what is happening here? Like... I mean, fair enough. It's been the most entertaining I think QT's ever fucking been, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tony asked QT Marshall if, he's worried about Powerhouse Hobbs since he failed to take care of Ricky Starks, and he said that he's not worried about Powerhouse Hobbs, and says that they're going to take care of Ricky Starks soon. And then Powerhouse Hobbs comes up, and they basically says the same thing.
And Will Hobbs found him.
Yeah.
He's like,
and Powerhouse Hobbs
he gets mad. He said, you said you were going to take care of Ricky Starks. Where I come from, your word is everything. And he points at his chest. I'm like, oh, fuck. He's about to fucking eat. He's about to eat QT's shit for lunch here.
Yeah, but luckily QT was able to talk him out of it, which is good. So,
that was really good.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to see what happens there. I'm enjoying Powerhouse Hobbs a lot lately, though. So there you go.
Poor Factory is going to get fucked up here.
I know.
Poor Factory.
I feel bad. Man. I feel bad for the Factory. They haven't been the same since that Cody. No, I wouldn't say the Cody feud. They haven't been the same since the Paul White feud, actually.
Yeah, it's the Paul White feud, honestly. It sucks because it's like it's not even a go-go. Like, get a go-go away from this at least.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you could do whatever. Like, this is cool, this is funny, whatever. But, like, fuck me. Like, I want a go-go to do better here. Just please.
Absolutely.
Get him in the Blackpool Combat Club pronto. He would
be
perfect.
God.
He would be a shoo-in there.
Then we had the FTW Championship match. It was Hook versus Zach Clayton. Zach Clayton did a promo saying he was going to win the belt. He got squashed, didn't win the belt. I like this. It was nice and simple.
Oh boy, did he get squashed. He tried to go for a fucking lariat and then got caught and got red drum. It's over.
Yeah, this was
seconds, dude.
Yeah, this was
fucking Excalibur on commentary says Hook wrestled this match like he was double parked.
I think too,
that's so good.
I always love it when it happens in squash matches. And I love it when it happens on Dark Moor. I love it too when the commentators are legit in the middle of a sentence and the match just ends. I always love it when that happens.
So fucking great. I love it.
I think Excalibur.
But it just happens way too often on Dark. But still, this was perfect here. This is exactly what it needed to be.
I think Excalibur was legit trying to talk and the match just ended. It was awesome.
That was great.
Afterwards, 2.0 did an interview backstage, and they basically call out Hook for the FTW Championship. I didn't think this would happen. I want to see this. I think it's going to be Matt Bernard that ends up challenging him for what it looks like, because he was the one that was really calling him out. So,
which is fine. Yeah, makes sense.
And then Bailey got interviewed and challenged one of his sons to a match on Dynamite. So we're going to get Bailey versus Colton Gunn now, which I think will be good stuff. I think it's probably too soon to do a match right now, but
I think so too. I think you should just save it for the buy-in / or pay-per-view. I really hope they just put this on buy-in.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then
I don't know how I'm feeling about it. On one hand, it's oh, cool, these two teams are really good and they're being featured, But at the same time, it's I think because they fucked over the Varsity Blondes, I'm angry about it.
Yeah.
Because there's no way all three teams shouldn't have been elevated from this.
It's also kind of weird because they just did the blow-off dumpster match. There's really no reason.
Shouldn't that be the end of it?
Yeah.
I don't know why we're going back to this. And then, by the way, their baby faces, shouldn't they be next in line for the fucking tag titles?
Yeah. I don't even know who's challenging. I don't even know who's gonna challenge for the tag titles. Are they just not having a tag title match on the show? I don't know what.
They're gonna have a tag title match on the show. I think. The problem is, we'll get to why I think they haven't promoted any matches for All Out in a minute, but I think they're waiting for a specific week.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Then we had a bonus match. It was Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, because Hook beat him so quickly, they had a standby match.
Which is kind of So what would have happened then? Would this match just not like? Did Buddy Matthews and Serpentico just waste their time flying in? Like, I don't even understand how that happened.
I don't even know. I guess they were just in the back. They're like, "Hey, you, we need you in your gear. Get out there." And so they did the whole entrances, even though it was a standby match. I couldn't believe it.
I feel like 1 week's like they should have someone come out like getting into their wing gear, like, or like it should, like Mark Sterling should be the guy that's the standby or something. Like that'd be hilarious. But anyhow,
so here's the problem with Dark and then doing something like this. Here, ready? How do you have Brock Anderson have a competitive match with a guy like Serpentico, but yet a guy like Buddy Murphy comes in and squashes him in minutes?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
This was a miss. No way. No way. Zero way. Why are you doing it like this? Now, granted, this match was perfect. In a vacuum, this was great. It's just that when you find out that Brock Anderson and fucking Serpentico had a competitive match like 2 shows before this, it's what the fuck?
The same week, yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's weird.
I would have much rather see a Buddy Matthews versus Brock Anderson match, to be fair.
Buddy Matthews who match?
Yeah, Brock Anderson, Buddy Matthews match.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Dude, I would have such a field day booking Dark, man. I really would.
Yeah. So yeah, Buddy Matthews squashed him. Afterwards, it wasn't it though. Miro comes out and he has Malachi Black's like horns mask then that he wears to do his entrance. So
yeah, which is really crazy. So that means that Miro fucking led them into a this is essentially what has happened now, because we haven't really, I don't know if you talked about this last week with the whole Aleister Black thing, or I'm sorry, Malachi Black thing, where he just walked backstage and we never saw him again.
Yeah.
So this is what I think happened. I think he went to the back. He was going to either try to get somebody, or he was told that Miro was going to help. Right? Now, either he was fed false information by Julia Hart, or he was basically, essentially just, swindled by Miro, or just he was trying to go in the back for help, and Miro fucking abducted him and beat the shit out of him. That's essentially what happened now. So that's what happened. It's one of the fucking 3. I don't know which, because nobody seems to know, but we know Miro had something to do with Malachi Black's appearance during the coffin match that day, because it never came back out. So now we know Miro was responsible.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I like that. And then, man,
he destroyed Buddy Matthews.
Fuck with Miro, man. Like he's a mad person.
We're getting a babyface Miro now too. Like the babyface Miro I've always wanted, the one that's just gonna kick your ass too. Like,
yeah, big time.
The only thing I hated about this is I wish it had been like on Dynamite when the crowd would have really been into it, because I think the crowd wasn't into it because obviously they had seen like hell of a match. I wish like Miro could have gotten that big pop that he could have,
Now, what is the match that's happening on the episode that Noah's going to?
Dark Order versus House of Black.
Yeah, guess what's not happening?
Dark Order versus House of Black?
Yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen. House of Black is going to get destroyed by Miro.
Yeah.
It's already... it probably already has happened.
Save that for the prediction. Ooh,
okay, we're predicting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but... So, was Miro also on standby then? Was he just, like, hoping this match was going to happen? Like, please, Hook, just try to destroy, Like, I don't know how that happened. Like, did he just,
I think it is what it is. I think it's just... It is what it is. I mean... So, here's the thing with the Dark Order. So... Darby beat up fucking Brody, so that's already taken care of. He already fucking destroyed him. And then you have Malachi Black. We assume Miro destroyed him. He just destroyed the last of the fucking Dark Order. We'll get to my prediction later. Stay tuned.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, got interviewed. She sent Lexi Neal away because she asked a question that she didn't like.
Well,
and then,
look, apparently Rebel / not Reba / Reba sometimes / Rebel sometimes / Rebel Reba / Reba the Rebel / the Rebel Reba / Reba Reba of Rebel Variety sent her away.
Yeah.
Because she was the one who fucking called the shot there. I have no idea what happened there. So, yeah.
And Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, talked about how she's upset that like she's not even in the conversation for the AEW Women's Championship, even though, her team beat Thunderstorm a few weeks ago.
Is that what you're going to call him?
Yeah, I was going to call him
Brandon Curtis appeared. He had a fucking RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, but Thunderstorm, and she's upset that, not Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm already lost her opportunity. But whatever, she's just going to sit out all out and protest, and then have a match next week, because it looks like she's having a match.
Why does she have to bury the women's division every time on the microphone?
I know.
Stop. Please. It's
good
already
promo.
going through enough.
Yeah. Then we had Athena versus Penelope Ford. Good stuff here.
Yeah.
Athena won with the Eclipse, which was good. But I really enjoyed this here. Afterwards, the baddies came out and attacked Athena, and then Jade Cargill came out with a sledgehammer. And I think what was supposed to happen was she was supposed to destroy her ring gear, but it didn't really work out that way because that stuff was probably too strong to break. So I think they called it audible, and she went into the ring and hit Athena in the ribs with the sledgehammer. Good on Jade Cargill for calling that audible, because I don't know if she would have been able to do that months ago. And I'm glad they're going all in now with this program with Athena and Jade Cargill.
Don't have a choice. I think they were gonna have Athena lose to her on TV and then do her in Statlander, but Statlander is kind of kaput. So
I do kind of I like. Even though I don't like the fact that Statlander is injured, it did make this feud better, because now like Athena's gonna have to like really fight against all three women now and all that type of stuff.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, good stuff here. Then we had Ricky Starks did a promo and basically said that he's gonna say stuff on Wednesday and call out Powerhouse Hobbs and everybody. It was a really good promo. So there you go. It was just more him advertising ways that he's gonna be talking Wednesday. Then we had the final match.
Have Ricky Starks talk.
Yeah.
Good.
Then we had the final match in the Trios Tag Team, or the Trios Championship Tournament or whatever. It was Best Friends versus the Trustbusters. They did the whole thing with Mark Henry backstage. It was more of the same stuff. The funniest thing about it was Mark Henry went to say his line, and Orange Cassidy was like, "Mark, that's my line." And Mark told Owens, "No, that's my line." He's like,
"Yeah, that's my line. That's my line."
Like, do not take Mark Henry's line. That's
just one thing, man. He can't do that.
By the way, if you go to a show, that's like so over when he says it in the arena. Like, it gets over big, like when he says that. Like, I feel like he needs to say that. I feel like he needs to say that live. That would get over huge if he said that live. Like, but yeah. So we had this match here. Pretty good match.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. I skipped the fuck out of this match.
I'll just grab it in.
I saw the fucking finishing sequence, or I'm sorry, I saw the final move of the match.
Yeah,
that's about where I skipped to.
Pretty good match here. It was really questionable what they were going to do here, because they were kind of booked a little bit into a corner, because you had the Trustbusters just get together and do this big Sunny Kiss heel turn, so they kind of needed the win. But also you had Best Friends, who were like a team since like the beginning, and this is they're basically like the heart and soul of like the Trios division. They had to go far in the tournament, so how are they going to book themselves out of it? Danhausen cursed them. That's how you book your way out of it. You can't survive the curse. So
there you go. That's how you do it.
Why do I feel like too? That's going to be how they get out of everything now? They're just going to have Danhausen curse the person.
When in doubt, Danhausen out.
That should be the way they go about it. Like, we don't like.
Very nice, very plot convenience.
Like when CM Punk and Moxley have the match, you don't really know like who can win, who can lose. Just have Danhausen come
out and curse. Yeah, it's fine.
Everyone will make sense out of it. So,
Yeah, people that just would like be like, yeah, no, how about that?
But yeah, best friends advanced. I think that needed. I understand if people are mad because you just put the Trustbusters in and you did all this stuff with them and you just had them
Bro,
lose.
the Trustbusters should have been a different fucking trio altogether. Like, I just gave you a better version of the Trustbusters. There's many reasons why that was not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
let alone which, even if you did do my version of the Trustbusters, guess who wasn't going to go up against? Guess who wasn't going up against the Dark Order and or House of Black and or replacement team possibly?
Yeah.
It's them. So there you go.
So yeah, that was Rampage. Really good Rampage actually. For like, I was like worried about.
It was serviceable. Yeah. Did good.
Yeah, it had eventful things happen on it. I would have changed the. I understand. I would have changed what main evented personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because I thought that tag title match was better. I understand. I guess because the Trios tournament, you're doing a big thing with it right now, so you have to kind of treat it like a big deal. But you know,
good
what
stuff
it is.
Either way. I mean, they just getting all their stars back, so they're trying to fucking write television as they realize everybody's going to come.
Usually every week, I don't know. I don't know if you've been watching. When I do the letter grade, I have a letter grade for AEW for the week. What would you give? With all, I know you didn't see Dog.
B plus. I give it a B plus. Just of everything I heard, we had an A show or an A minus show, depending, or an S rank show, depending on your interpretation. If it wasn't for the Blashley Blonde shit, but Dark was failed this week, big time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in A minus. I think Dark really brought it down this week, like bad, and the Varsity Blondes being squashed brought it down this week too. So
yeah,
now we got some predictions to do. And guess what? Since we're doing this on a Monday, we can actually do AEW Elevation predictions. I always loved. It's very rare you get to do that type of stuff. So
AEW Revolution predicts. Okay, cool. Elevation, Evolution, whatever.
Yeah, let's do AEW.
I predict squash matches. I predict the Trustbusters are going to be the main event already on Dark Elevation. That's my predictions. That's all I need to say.
All right. I'll do my predictions real quick. So we have Andre Gorico and Logan James versus Tony Nese and Josh Woods. I think we know who's winning that match.
I think we know who's winning that one.
We would need to say who's winning that match. Like,
come on.
Yeah.
It's the Premier Beast.
And then we have Anna J.A.S. versus Nikki Victory. We know who's winning that match. So...
Wait, is that her? No, that's not her new name, is it?
Yeah, it's her name.
No! Oh, get her the fuck back in the Dark Order immediately. Oh my, no. No. Oh my god, I just had an out-of-body experience. I thought that was just her gimmick.
No, it's her name now.
Oh my, no.
Then we have Dante Mountain versus Jackson Drake. We know who's winning that match.
Yeah.
I actually think that could be a good match, though. Dante Mountain will surprise you sometimes with the...
yeah, well... Maybe. Who knows?
Then we have the Death Triangle versus Wazio, Guerrillo, Man Scout, and Dean Alexander. I could do without seeing Man Scout. That's a crap gimmick. But other than that, everybody else I'm cool with seeing. Well, except Wazio, Guerrillo, because I haven't seen him before. But this is going to be a total swash. This is going to be a massacre.
We know who's winning that one.
I'm excited to see this. Queen Aminata and Mikey Midas versus Ruby Soho and Ortiz. I'm mainly just excited to see that, to see Ortiz and Ruby Soho.
Oh, wait, is that taking place on Dark? Okay.
No, it's Elevation.
Oh, shit. Okay. Cool.
I'm actually excited to see that, to see Ruby Soho and Ortiz team up. So
fair enough.
We know who's winning that match, too, by the way.
Good shit.
Then we have Damon Salvino, Alexander Apollo, and Aussie Dupuis. I wonder if there was any relation to Max Dupuis or Maxine Dupuis. We'll see. They're facing Dark Order members John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and 10. I think we know who's winning that.
Who's winning that.
We have Haley Shadows versus Julia Hart. We know who's winning that match. Okay, this one, I think we know who's winning this match, but we'll see. You're gonna be mad about this match. I think it's main event too. Hikaru Shida and Sky Blue versus Emi Sakura, and guess who Emi Sakura's tag team partner is? And it's not Melina Shafir, so.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. It's Maki Ito, isn't it? No. No.
Who's winning that match?
Why? I mean, oh my God, no. Who are they fighting?
Who's winning that match? Shida, Sky Blue, Emi Sakura, and Maki
Please be
Ito.
Shida and Sky Blue, please. Do not give this fucking win to Sakura and Maki fucking Ito, please.
Who do you think is taking the loss?
Hopefully, Ito and Sakura.
No, I'm saying, like, who's getting pinned? Who's taking the fall in this match?
Ito! It should be! God,
and then we have,
sucks at the ring.
Yeah. Then we have Megan Myers versus Serena Deeb. We also know who's winning that match.
Megan Myers versus Serena Deeb. Yeah, it's Serena Deeb.
Yeah. I've liked Megan Myers when I've seen her wrestle, though. She's solid, so. Now let's get to the real stuff.
Please.
All right, so we have a big episode of AEW programming this week. Like, it's huge. Like, yeah, you have like a full show announced here.
Yep.
So let's do some predictions. So I did bracketology, so I gotta stick. I'm doing good in bracketology. The two teams I predicted were gonna go on have. So I have to stick with my predictions for bracketology. Yep. But you don't have to because you didn't do bracketology. That's just what happens when you don't do bracketology games. You can predict whatever you want. So,
yeah, sure.
It's the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament quarterfinals. It's on Dynamite. It's just a regular Dynamite this week, which I'm fine with because there's no need to do a special episode this week. We have Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. A big thing could happen here. Aussie Open, I think, just recently won the New Japan Strong Tag titles of the first champion, so I think they're going to be coming out with those championships on, Dynamite this week, which will be cool for them. Please have Ospreay finally come out with that U.S. title if he's still the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Champion. That was stupid. He never did. But anyhow,
Juice Robinson should not held that belt anymore.
Yeah. I don't even know if he still is the champion. I'm just saying.
I think he is. I believe he is. And he's still Rev Pro British Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. I like I said, I did bracketology, so Death Triangle I got to stick with you. I think they'll.
I agree.
I think they.
But it's really cool that they're having the double champ fight. Ospreay. Oh my God! If they go to Rev Pro and they do a fucking Ospreay versus fucking Pac match. With all the gold on the line, man, I'm watching the fuck out of that dark.
Yeah, I'll watch the whole episode. Yeah.
I will watch the whole episode just for that alone.
Yeah. Honestly, that should just be shown. Honestly, they should just save that for Dynamite, though. That it's too big to do on Web.
I agree, but if you're not going to do it on Dynamite and you have to do it overseas, that's the best place to do it is on Dark.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking epic, dude.
We have Kylie Kin versus Dr. Britt Baker DMD. I think that's an easy win for Dr. Britt Baker DMD.
Not as easy as you would think. I think it's going to be a competitive match, actually, because Kylie Kin saved me a lot.
I'm not saying it's going to be an easy win. What I mean is, like, it's obvious Britt Baker's winning. There's no way she's
Well, yeah, for sure, yeah. But
yeah, I think it'll be a really competitive. Did they have a match, like, in the pandemic era, and Britt Baker squashed her, like, really fast? So I'm pretty sure that did happen. So it'll be kind of cool. On Road 2, I hope they talk about that if they do a Road 2 for that match.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Ricky Starks is going to cut a promo. I imagine, he's going to come out. He's going to talk about Powerhouse Hobbs, and he's going to lay out the factory. And I think Powerhouse Hobbs is going to beat the crap out of the factory afterwards, too. It's going to be.
I agree.
I think that I'm looking forward to that segment so much. We have Billy Gunn versus Colton Gunn. It's going to be the first ever father versus son match in AEW. They've never done one before. So, who's winning that match? It's really tough because they both.
It can be Billy. I mean, actually, no, it's not as predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go with Colton Gunn via interference by Stokely Hathaway and Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, I think that needs to happen.
And or Ethan Page. One of the two men that, basically either one of those two men that Stokely recruited.
I think Colton Gunn's going to win via interference from Lee Moriarty and is going to set up a trios match on the buy-in of All Out.
So we're on the same page then,
yeah.
Cool.
Dax Howard versus Jay Lethal. This is going to be a hell of a match. I really can't wait for it. Jay Lethal's probably going to win this match, probably.
Yeah.
I could see Dax Howard winning, but I think Jay Lethal...
Oh my God, that's on this show too? Fuck me. They got 3 bangers on here. Mox, Dustin, Claudio, Dax, and fucking Jay
No, Dustin
Lethal?
Claudio's on... I mean, Dustin Claudio's on Rampage. We won't see that until... But I don't know. I get to see it before we do, so...
Lucky.
But yeah, I'm picking Jay Lethal. He's challenging for the TNT title. I think he needs to get a big win because he just had a big loss for the belt. So
yeah, agreed.
I don't think he's won a match in a. I guess he beat Cassie a few weeks ago. So he's not on a complete losing streak. All right, so we have the big decision. Who's Daniel Garcia going to choose? Is he going to choose Jericho or is he going to choose Bryan Danielson?
I think he'll be indecisive still until All Out.
Yeah, I don't think. I think now that you said what you said, I think they're definitely gonna bring up that Jericho donated money so he could walk again. He's definitely gonna bring that up.
Yeah, of course.
Danielson's gonna come out and basically, try to fire him up and tell him to be like the real wrestler that he was and all that stuff.
Yeah, and also probably school Jericho for what happened to do things low key. Or trying to do things low-key. What happened to that, Jericho, when you frickin' helped him? Or were you only doing it for your own selfish gain because you knew you could use him later? That's going to be really good.
And the biggest thing is we're going to get Jericho versus Danielson out of this promo, probably.
Yep. What a fucking match that's going to be All Out. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the most unpredictable match on the show. The whole thing. Undisputed AEW World Championship match. AEW World Champion CM Punk versus interim AEW World Champion John Moxley. I'm going first.
Okay,
I'm going first.
Go ahead.
This is really a tough one to pick because it really could go either way. And I think it's probably smarter to go with Punk because he really didn't get much of a title reign. However, I think Mox is going to win because I think MJF is coming back. And he's like, the whole thing is, he hates AEW right now with his promo.
Agreed. Yeah, we're on the same page here, yeah.
Moxley's
That's the only way you can go here.
Yeah. Chris Dodd threw up the suggestion of MJF being the face and Punk being the heel, but that's just... I don't think that's going to work because the whole thing is that MJF hates AEW.
Well, you know what? It depends on how they go about it, though. I'm not sure where they're leading because... Okay, I'll get to why in a minute. Because I got more predictions along with that prediction. But first off, did we even go over the other Trios match yet, or is that on Rampage?
It's on Rampage.
Okay, so we'll get to that later. Okay, so as far as this goes, this is exactly what I was going to save here. What MJ and what Punk did was deliberate. And I'll tell you exactly why it's deliberate. It's going to set up 3 different matches. Number 1, Mox and Punk. Mox and Punk. Punk's going to win. MJF's going to come out, beat him down. And it's going to be MJF, Punk 3 at All Out. That's where Max is finally going to get his big moment and win the title. And, close the one-on-one chapter on Punk. But there's going to be one more match he has with Punk. There's going to be a certain bit of cowboy shit involved. Triple threat for the AEW World title. The only one they've ever done for this championship since Double or Nothing 2021.
Yeah,
that's going to be on AEW Grand Slam. That's then going to lead to MJF, Hangman Page at Full Gear.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here. I hope that's what they're doing, at least. Because if that doesn't happen, then I might actually question if Punk legitimately shot on Hangman Page. in case that did happen for realsies, and I will say this now, right off the fucking bat, then what Hangman Page said to him actually happened to be a fucking shoot. And he went off the script himself. And at the end of the day, guess whose fault that is? It's not Punk's. It's Hangman's.
Hangman Page.
Sorry. I like Hangman and everything, but, like, if you're, you know, when it comes to this business, you know, not everybody's freaking gonna be turning the other cheek guy, especially a guy like Punk. An eye for an eye with that fucker. Don't pick a fight you can't finish. That's all I'm going to say. If it's real. I don't think so. I think they're doing this to build to a fucking triple threat at Grand Slam. That's what I think they're doing.
Now, what's the promo that Page said that everyone thinks that Punk took an issue with, if that's the case?
Yeah, exactly. You know?
I actually don't know what, because I've seen the promo.
It's the one where they were building to the program, and MJF kind of played the heel in a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was basically that. He said a lot of shit. You know, I think they're trying to use that, and the only thing that makes me wonder if it is real is just because of the heat that might still be lingering there with him and Colt. But that's like the only thing that I could think of why that might be real.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, Punk didn't have a problem with Hangman until Hangman opened his fucking mouth on TV just because, like, if you had a problem with how he was treating Colt, then just fucking straight up tell him.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I don't know what the deal is yet. But I'm not willing to say any more other than I will cover my tracks now in case it is real, but I think this is a fucking work, and they're working the fans here. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's probably the...
And
that's probably the case.
If it doesn't happen at Grand Slam, then I'm going to fucking call out Tony for not fucking handling that properly.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Now let's do predictions for Rampage. We have 2 matches, and as of right now, announced... but
more will probably be announced on Dynamite, or even Dark, probably.
We have Claudio Castagnoli defending the ROH World Championship against Dustin Rhodes. I think this is going to be a banger of a match.
Sure. Absolutely will be.
I think it's obvious Claudio's going to retain. There's no reason to take the ROH title on him. I think he's just going to go on a tear with this title.
As he should. It's been way too long for him.
Yeah. I think he's going to hold this belt. I honestly think, not the next ROH pay-per-view, but maybe it always depends on how...
I'm convinced they're wanting to hold this to a full year or close to it.
Yeah.
I can see them going that route here.
And then, as of right now, we know what's happening, but obviously I think Wednesday could change things. It's House of Black versus Dark Order in the tournament.
Here's exactly what's going to happen. So, we already have one piece of the equation. The House of Black is pretty much gone from the tournament.
Yeah, I would say so.
They're gone. They have gotten completely obliterated by Darby and Miro in recent weeks. So, that leaves us with a need for a replacement. Now, that's obviously going to be the Undisputed Era. It's going to be Adam Cole, it's going to be Bobby Fish, it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly. Now, the thing that needs to happen that I would like to see, not that they necessarily need to do this, but my idea is they should take out 10 first. For one particular reason. You take out 10, you take out the rest of the members of the Dark Order that aren't coming out, and then you guys come out, or those guys come out, and they say, guess what, 10 ain't there. You're filling in, Mr. Cowboy shit. We got fucking unfinished business after what you just pulled a couple weeks ago and getting involved in my business. And Cole's going to win because they weren't prepared. So I think the match is going to be changed entirely to Adam Page, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds versus the Undisputed Era. That's what I think they're changing this entire match to, personally.
Yeah, that could happen.
I hope it does, but again, I know at least the first part has happened. First part's already happened, pretty much.
I'm gonna give predictions for all 3 possible matches that could happen. Then, if it's the original match that's scheduled, I think Dark Order will win because of the injuries that everyone in House of Black has suffered. If it's Dark Order versus the Undisputed Elite, I'll pick the Undisputed Elite to win that. I really don't know who to pick if it's Paige, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds.
It'll be Cole and him. It'll be Cole. It will still be Cole. They're gonna, again. It leads to future things down the road for him anyway, but he needs to take the loss here in order for shit to go down. Or here's another fucking thing. Although this is just me completely creatively booking out the ass here. What if the way you turn CM Punk heel is by having him join the Undisputed Era and attack Hangman Page to cost him the match?
Yeah, that could happen. I'd be interested in that because they were all ROH guys, so that would work.
There's a lot. There's a lot of pieces here, but I think that's the least likely to happen. I do know for a fact that whether it is Hangman or if it's 10, Undisputed Era is going over because the finals is going to be the Undisputed Era versus the Elite. That's the match that everybody wants to see for the inaugural titles.
Well, the question I have, because we don't even know this, Cole and O'Reilly even cleared to go yet? Because we don't even know if they cleared.
I think so. Now. They wouldn't have been on TV if they weren't.
Yeah, I don't even know if they would have done the angle if they weren't cleared.
Exactly. Too. Like, they have to be, right? If not, why did you book the fucking angle? That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
I get the only other way I can see that is, well, we're just going to get the match we're going to get, but again, I doubt it. I think they're going to change everything come this week. But it still comes down to the fact that, like, if you're not changing this, why did you book the angle other than you're setting it up for the first title program when the Elite have the titles? And then you're going to spoil that momentum by having UE win it right off them immediately.
Yeah.
I could see them go that route as well, but it's like, I think that would be less impactful than if you did it the way I'm suggesting.
I know. The thing that really screwed everything up was the fact that, like, the Undisputed Elite got hurt. Especially Cole and O'Reilly.
Yeah, especially with all the other injuries that fucking happened this year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, because Bryan Danielson's injury, that even though that kind of messed things up, they were able to book around that. It's really tough because you're doing this tournament now, and if the Undisputed
Elite... And somehow
Elite,
all three of them got injured.
Yeah.
Literally every single person got injured.
Yeah. So... we'll see what happens. But wait, actually, I forgot. I gotta pick Dark Order because I picked them in the bracketology. I have to pick Dark Order. So,
well, you're fucked. Actually, you should allow yourself to change it if the fucking match gets changed anyway.
Yeah, because I didn't even know. Because I remember the whole thing was Paige was in the Dark Order's corner, so I thought they were gonna do something with that, like because Paige is in their corner and everything. I did this whole thing where the Elite, where the Undisputed Elite cost, because I figured that'd be enough time for them to heal up and come back. So,
something like that.
All right, so here's this. I'm gonna make an exception. So if the match is originally scheduled, I'll stick with Dark Order. But if it's changed, I'll stick with the other two: the Undisputed Elite for Dark Order, and then the Undisputed Elite for if it's Paige, we'll place in 10. There you go. That takes care of everything.
There you go. Perfect.
That's everything. I don't think there's any news. So the biggest news was the CM Punk thing, but and possibly MJF coming back.
That's pretty much it as far as we know.
Yeah, I don't think there really wasn't. Yeah, there really wasn't anything. Oh, I guess this is kind of news. The Casino Ladder match is coming back. I didn't know they were going to do the Casino Ladder match. I love it when they could do the Casino Ladder match. It's my favorite concept.
Are they doing that? Are they doing that?
They're doing that at All Out.
Oh shit.
So the question, they didn't really say if it's going to be a men's or a women's ladder match. I imagine it's going to be a men's because there's more variety.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know what they're gonna do. By the way, like, are they gonna do winner gets a world title? I'm assuming it's world title, right? Because the past two has been.
It would have to be, right? But I'm not. I don't know now.
Yeah. Who's going to be in the match? Who do you think will be in the ladder match? Because really not sure.
Well, if MJF doesn't show up next week, then it's Max, and he's winning it.
Yeah.
But
so then
this is weird. That was a monkey wrench. You literally just told me that, and now I have no idea what the hell they're doing now. Unless they're gonna have Hangman win it, and then it's like, and then that's how they set up the triple threat. So maybe Hangman as well. Maybe Hangman. Hangman will be my pick, but
yeah. What do you think will be in it though? What do you think will be like in the match though? Like how many people are usually in the casino ladder match?
You know what's gonna be you know what's gonna be odd if MJF ends up winning. I could see them do MJF returning, winning the casino ladder match. But building up to Hangman Page versus CM Punk at All Out, and then MJF coming in and spoiling the fucking match entirely and just having it thrown out. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I actually could see them doing it like that. But it like I don't know now. Like that completely just threw everything off for me. I thought it was a linear kind of thing with that, and now they threw this freaking ladder match in here, and now I don't know. They could go the opposite direction. I still think it should be Hangman goes into the ladder match, wins it, and then I think MJF should be the match that they do at All Out. That's what I think they should be doing here.
Who do you think will be in the ladder match, if you had to make a guess?
I don't know. I just know who the two that should win.
Yeah. The people I could see going into the ladder match would be let me think. So I have to eliminate some people. So we know that FTR and FTR and Wardlow, Jay Lethal, none of them will be in it because they're already in a match.
As far as we know, anyway.
I think Ray Phoenix will be in it because I don't think he's going to have a match at All Out.
Yeah, probably.
I think I'm trying to think. If the Undisputed Elite don't come back for that tournament, I think one of them could be in it, but I feel like that's probably risky if he's just coming back and going to be in a ladder match.
Yeah.
So I remember WWE would always do that. They would like have Christian come back, and he'd always have like a ladder match or a elimination chamber match. His first match back and stuff. Like it was stupid.
and he got injured like right after that too.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think who else could be. Owens Cassidy could be in it because I don't think he'll have a match at All Out. Sammy, because I know they've announced Sammy versus Eddie at All Out, but it feels like they haven't even. It feels like they've kind of abandoned that. I could see Sammy and Eddie Kingston beat in the ladder match.
Maybe, yeah.
Lance Archer could come back and be in the ladder match. I know he's been in Japan in the G1, but I think that's over now, so he could easily come back and be in the ladder match.
All right. I think who won that? I think Okada did for the upteenth fucking time in a row.
Yeah, I don't understand. So he's winning. So I'm guessing we're getting Okada then versus. I mean, I know we're not talking about AEW right now, but it's. I feel like the AEW, New Japan booked themselves in a corner because they basically just had the same guy win the G1 Climax just to face Jay White. Like, I don't know what you're doing there. Like, I mean, I'm sure the tournament's. I'm sure the tournament's great, but it's just like, it's more of a.
Yeah.
It's more of a baffling reason why they took the belt off Okada. And he legit won this tournament last year. Like,
yeah, I don't know why we're doing that again.
But yeah, that's been. I've thrown out some names. Maybe Matt Hardy will be in the ladder match since he has some experience.
Since they have nothing for him, poor guy.
I know.
Fuck you,
that's
Jeff. I hate
I know
you.
that.
I'm sorry. Every time I think about that, like, I hate this motherfucker. Every time I think about him.
I don't blame you.
He's an irresponsible douche, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We really have nothing left to talk about. We did like a bad breakdown of the casino ladder match of who we think will be in it because we still don't even know
we don't even know the participants, and that was just a last minute thing that was just thrown in the monkey wrenches here. So you get what you get until it happens, pretty much.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Is there anything you want to plug or promote? I actually have Oh, by the way, how do you think I did as a host? Because you were on Noah's version of the show, and you were on my version of it.
Yeah, you did good. We did fine. We actually are under. We actually could finish this in under 2.5 hours. We're about a minute away from that. So, follow me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/user/JHEBERTSIDE95. That's also my Twitter handle at JHebertSide95. Also, check out Luke Lynch's channel, youtube.com/user/MetalNut1120. That has the Stable Wars that we just filmed yesterday, so check that out when you can.
Alright, so yeah, as for my stuff, you can subscribe to this channel for future AEW Spark episodes and retro wrestling review series. We just did SummerSlam 2003, and on Thursday now, Chris and I are doing retro for not NXT TakeOver, No Mercy UK.
There you go.
So that should be fun. And Friday, Noah and I are doing.
When are you doing that? When are you doing that?
Thursday.
Are you live streaming it or what?
I was hoping. Are you available for that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I was hoping you could come on.
And then we also so basically just to expect a double retro during the weekend, basically. Probably is how we're gonna.
And then the rundown's finally coming back Sunday, which I'm happy about. I can't wait for the rundown to come back. I'll finally get to actually talk about like Vince retirement, and that's not a retro. I can actually like talk about it as a topic.
Right.
So.
Yeah, true.
I haven't talked about it yet, so.
So how are we doing this? You and Chris are doing the WWE and AEW stuff, and Noah and I are going to handle the indie.
Is that how you want to do this? Or
that's how I was going to do it. So you guys can just record your end, and then I can I can splice it all together because it's really not to fucking put together. Now that I have all the layouts ready to go, pretty much it's like takes no time to render.
All right, so yeah, we'll do it that way. I'm surprised you don't want to come on for the WWE stuff. Like, you're actually watching it and everything, too, so it's like...
I am, but since you and Chris are covering that, we might as well change the format from what ATW View is going to be anyway, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing one right after this AEW Dynamite that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure. There's going to be a lot that we're going to talk about, I'm sure, on ATW View.
I know, yeah.
Probably more recent stuff, because I know the rundown is like, since it's a monthly thing, you're going to run everything that happened in the month anyway, so.
Actually, we haven't done a rundown in like, I think it's 2 months.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 2 months. And like, I watched changed in 2 months.
Yeah, right. It is what it is. What it is.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We will, and also subscribe to Owen the Talkinator and CM Brothers. Future stuff's happening with that, so make sure you pay attention to those channels. Like, make sure you're like up all night looking at those channels, seeing if something happens.
Let's just say things over there soon to be FTWized, if you will.
That's pretty much it, guys. We will talk to you guys later.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.